Last time on Renascence, we did a lot of downtime, like the two sessions before.
Yeah, and this time we're going to continue doing downtime because it's still mid downtime.
Yay!
A couple of updates on the downtime calendar watch thing. Noel's BFF came to town. They got to meet everybody. Got to have some alone time for the first time in like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, they caught up.
Yeah.
Very close range.
And at the end of the session, Lauren received an unfortunate sending spell from your old buddy Lashrog, Chief Poobah of the Leviathan cult. And Noelle ran into some unwelcome, familiar faces at a fancy restaurant while she was eating lunch with Jade.
It was a sandwich shop.
Shop? We don't want to taint the sandwich shop with that.
It was a fancy. It was the restaurant at the chateau. Yeah, that was where we left off with those last two little oofs at the end of the session. So, are there any questions before we pick back up?
Can you make Lost Sherrod go away?
Can I make him go away?
Yeah.
I could. I won't.
I mean,
Can we make him go away if we kill him?
Well, no, but you see,
We definitely try.
only
but Chani, if he just made him go away, he wouldn't tell you that he made him go away, and Aloran would be stuck in some sort of weird, like, where the fuck did he go?
No, I think I prefer that right now.
You'll get no closure.
That's fine. I'll survive. She'll just drink herself some more booze.
Hashtag worst breakup ever.
Lashrog
Yeah,
just
right.
unrelated to anything has a heart attack and dies.
I feel like you can't break up with me.
He's just
Not
so
cool.
old.
This is,
Nah, it's no worse. It's diabetes
yep.
or the common cold.
Gotta be careful about stuff like that.
Catches COVID. I want Shrug. You won't
Is
feel
that what happened to Bert?
Yeah.
Oh god, Carl is the ultimate like terrifying Leviathan.
Fantasy code makes you sound like Carl Weezer. Don't catch it. Sanitize. Any other questions before we get back into it? I feel like at the top of the session, probably should defer to Aloran and Noelle if they would like to continue in either of their respective.
Well, you can go first because I'm debating whether or not to be a dumb bitch or not. So.
Okay.
Wait, that's a debate?
Ooh.
Damn, Carter's starting off strong with the downtime.
That's why I have such a giant hat so I can throw all that shade.
Okay, well, we're starting with me. This was at the chateau that me and Jade were staying at.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the first thing I told myself I wanted to do immediately, while it's still fresh in Noelle's mind, is roll an insight check to see if Amelia seemed genuinely surprised by Noelle's being here.
Present.
Yeah, sure.
Can't imagine it's going to be an easy check. Roll, though. Gotta pull up my character sheet real quick. That is a 24. Nope, sorry. 22.
22. you have known her for a long time. I think you have definitely seen her genuinely off kilter. This looks like one of those times. She rallied fairly quickly, but that moment where you locked eyes, you could tell she was not expecting to see you here.
Okay. So as Noelle and Jade are walking away from the chateau, Noelle would just kind of be mumbling to herself. Just like, why is she here? What is she doing? Can't just be the only reason. I would probably be looking back too at the door to see if anyone is trying to follow us or anything like that as we're walking away.
I think what you would see is there's a little bit of a movement at that table.
Well, we're going down the block. I think we left
Yeah. So as you're leaving,
because that was
you
the
would have
last thing
seen-
she said to me. Was like, "There's the door," so I just stormed out.
Yeah. So I guess looking behind you, then I guess roll a perception check.
2.
Cool. Carry on.
Do I see a person like? Is anyone like going in and out, or is the door?
I mean, it's a busy city street. I mean,
Okay.
it's Freeport. You know, there's really no saying.
Okay. Probably a little paranoid, but Jade, could you follow me real quick? And Noelle's gonna
Of course.
pull Jade into an alley, just to make sure we're not followed. I'm gonna cast Dimension Door.
Yeah.
And take Jade
Okay.
along with me just to some other random alley 500 feet away.
Sure. Yep. Do you want to go deeper into the city or closer to the
Probably
waterfront?
Whatever closest direction to the Presidium, because that's probably where we're going to go next.
So northeast.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So you hold Jade close. You mutter the incantation, and there is a rush of air kicks up your hair, kind of whips around both of you. Your eyes just reflexively snap shut, and as soon as you open them, you find yourself looking out at riverboats, fishing boats, seagulls, and the market stalls of Angler's Landing, several blocks away.
Okay.
Jade just kind of blinks her eyes, looks around, and is like, "Oh wow, that's new."
Yeah, I've been learning a lot. We have a friend you can teleport to. I was watching how he was doing it. That's not nearly as good as what he can do, but... Anyway, I want to get back to the Presidium.
Of course. What? That was Amelia back there?
It was. It was
And-
Amelia and Martin. And I guess Lorelei now.
Lorelei is...
It was me once.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Should we talk about? We'll talk about this later then. Okay. Let's proceed. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
She'll just follow your lead, and you guys can hurry back to the Presidium. Quickly making your way out of the city, into sort of the sand dunes, past Fort Franco, and out towards the dilapidated fortress of Presidium 12.
Okay. Boy, to be perfectly honest, I really don't know what Noelle's going to do next, other than just go to her room in the Presidium. So I don't know where we are timescale wise, whether Lauren got her message on the same day.
For the sake of
Are you
convenience, I'm going to say yes.
are you still Lorelei when you walk up to the Presidium?
Yes.
'Cause that might confuse some people.
I'm not even thinking about it.
Like Secundo.
Yeah, I think Jade's probably going to comment on it at some point during the walk. It's like, can you still look like that girl back there?
Jeez. Yeah. I guess I don't look like Lorelei when I get back.
And she would be concerned for sure.
It's an old habit. She would get really angry if I wasn't Lorelei.
Right, you mentioned some of that. I remember.
I've told you bits and pieces, but not everything.
And, I mean, whatever you're okay telling me. I mean, I wouldn't love to hear it. It sounds terrible, but I'm here to hear it if you need to talk.
I know. I just need a minute, I think.
Sure. Did not really get to finish eating. Do you want something to eat?
I lost my appetite.
A drink then.
I just want to go to my room.
Okay. So, you guys can make your way back to the Presidium. Just kind of hurry across the courtyard and inside up to your room.
Yeah. There's certainly a chance that anyone who's there would see that Noelle seems pretty distraught, but she's not going to actively talk to anyone yet.
Sure. Okay.
So if Chani wants to go do some stupid stuff, this is a good time to do it because I got to think.
No, I wasn't done thinking.
All right. Time's up, Chani. You receive an ominous sending spell from La Chirag. How do you reply?
This is my dumb response.
Hey, I'm not here at the call right now. If you want to leave a message, please link to the beep.
No, I have one where it's really
The
dumb.
beep
Where I go
never
back
comes.
to my original plan of when we first got to Freeport. Or it could be like, God damn it, Washara, can we not do this?
What are you telling him? What are you saying?
I
Flip a coin.
don't know. All right.
This is very
Okay.
D&D of you.
Oh, wait. Before, Chani, there's an important question. How drunk is Aloran right now?
It's like midday.
That does not
That
answer
doesn't
the
mean
question.
anything.
So unfortunately, I rolled 2. And I said if it was under 10, we would be smart. We would be dumb.
You be dumb?
We'd be dumb.
Are you going to be dumb?
We're gonna be dumb.
All right.
This is what I send to Logshrock.
Oh, we don't get to know?
Do you not get to read to the class?
Nope.
It's that dumb?
Oh, now you're worrying me. In like the best way possible, I'm worried.
Should I roll?
Here are all my
persuasion?
friends' names and social security numbers.
Yeah, probably.
Alright. So that was a 19 plus 5. So 24 for my persuasion.
Oh, persuasion.
Okay.
Real dumb shit, guys.
Okay, no, wait. Like, actually dumb, or like we should go hide dumb? Oh no, we should go hide.
All right.
She gave her his address.
There is a solid minute before you receive a second sending.
Yay.
I'll be in touch.
Cool.
Take your stupid note.
Retro. Okay. Though I would like to go talk to Alexi and go buy, I think, a ton of amulets of non-detection.
Okay.
A ton of? Are you getting one for everyone? Oh God! What did you tell him?
I think when you get to the Green Keep, there's a decent amount of activity in the lobby, and I think when you start asking around, you hear that the conservators are currently in recess after a meeting. They are due to reconvene in about half an hour, and from the sound of it, Alexi is not happy. And when you start asking after him, they kind of point you down to one of the side rooms where, as you approach, you can actually hear Alexi's voice, semi-raised, just popping off right now.
I'm gonna listen in.
Give me perception.
Okay.
It's not going to be hard, but...
Okay, it's a 10 plus 9.
Okay.
Or no, 10 plus... Is it a 9? Yeah, because I have a passive of 19.
Okay. Excuse me.
It's either a 17 or a 19. I think it's a 19.
Either way, you're going to hear pretty clearly. He, I believe, you can hear that he is currently talking to another one of the conservators, just by the tone of the conversation, but you can't really hear them responding to him because they are speaking at a much lower register than him. But Alexi's whole beef is just like, straw mail is completely missing the point with this entire thing. This is a cult. This is an extraplanar entity we're dealing with. Fiendish. Okay, we know this. We've determined this. We've known for months now, and he won't let it go. He's refusing to acknowledge the facts in favor of this fucking childish fucking beef. I don't care. I don't care what he says. I don't believe that. Okay, no. I'm saying. Okay, stop. What I'm saying here. If we don't do something about this cult, they will be a problem in short order. That's not up for debate. It's a fact.
Oh,
we
I
know
feel like
this.
if she heard that, she'd be like, "Hey, by the way, La Sharag just threatened me," aka cult leader.
You just lean in, just knock.
Yeah, she doesn't say that out loud. Actually, she's like, "Hey, Alexi, I have something that you could use."
Yeah, so you I guess kind of pop your head in the room and you see he is currently talking to Conservator Mirren, one of the human members of the council, shaved head, and he kind of wears his warden's shawl like a sort of sorry situation. And they both come to the surprise like, Lauren, I did not realize you were here. So Lauren and
Alexi, can I talk to you for one really quick second? It's kind of important.
he'll okay. He probably meets your gaze and just of course, if you'll excuse me, Conservator Mirren, and he'll follow you out into the hall. What is it? What happened?
I just got a sending from La Sharag saying that he's going to hunt me down, practically.
Oh,
I figured it could also be related to what I just heard. So.
no. That's part of the problem. Yes. Fuck. Okay. You are awarded. Good. He'll take note of the amulet. When did you get that?
Literally the day I got into Freeport.
Okay, good. That means he probably hasn't seen you.
He did say he has other ways, so I don't know what that means. But
That's reassuring. I know that there are items out there you could use to block communication if that was something on your radar, although I don't know how harmful that
I mean,
communication could
it could be
certainly
helpful to know.
Sure.
He's like, hey, I see you. And be like, oh, cool.
Oh, well, there's that. It-
I know you have a lot on your mind. I can come back later. I just want to let you know.
no, that's bad, but that's good to know. Thank you. Could certainly bring that to the council's attention.
Yeah, I think
Process.
it would be a good thing.
Yeah.
I feel like she'd like pull out a little bottle.
He shakes his head.
Put it back in her bag.
The last thing I need to be doing right now is blunting this edge.
Fair. Cool.
Well, ideally we'll be out of council before sundown, so we can talk then.
Real quick, how many people actually survived from my village?
10,
10?
I believe.
That's,
Let me go back
I think, 13.
in my notes and check an old headline.
Okay.
There's no number. Okay, we're gonna say 10.
10. Okay, cool. If he's clearly busy, so I'll be like 2.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna go and try to get 13 amulets of non-detection.
13. Jesus.
So.
Yeah, that's a number.
Oofy doofy. And I'm gonna try to talk him into a bulk order discount.
Okay. So Fort Franco Armory,
Yeah.
go track down that head. What's his name? Bill Sill something. Fort Franco. His name was Highwater. Illuminor Highwater. Okay. So you go track down Highwater and tell him you need 13 of these things. And he's like, I don't have that many on hand, but we could make them.
Okay. How many do you have on hand?
Well, after selling you that one, we've got 6.
I'll buy those and I'll commission the 7.
Okay. Well,
Can I get a bulk discount? You know, doing some good business here. It's 13 magic items.
that's certainly a lot.
Doing it to protect the people that just lost their homes, the Triton village, because there's a cult after them, probably, or could be. It's a really bad situation.
He's just kind of like, wow, okay, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a persuasion check.
Okay. It was I think 13 plus 4. Let me double check. Oh, 13 plus 5, so 18.
18. Okay. Oh, God, excuse me. He, I think, sits and thinks, and he's kind of scribbling some math out on scrap paper. And he's, I could do 5,000 if that's agreeable to you.
Yeah, I guess. How much would it originally be?
Closer to 6. So 58.50.
All right, yeah, I'll drop it.
All right. So, with uncommons, legals take what was it? 2 weeks. So the others could feasibly be done in probably about a week and a half from today. So like the 35th, 36th, somewhere in there.
Cool. So, wait, actually, yeah, that's fine. So I'll take the 6, and I'll give one to Gaddick, Adlar,
Okay.
Saren, potentially Gerald if he wants it. I don't know if he'll want it or not.
I think when you explain the situation, he'll probably tell you, "I think we're okay."
Okay, cool. So no Gerald. And
Take
then,
care of your family, right?
yeah. And then, did her mom come into town like she said she would, or is she in town at the moment?
Not right now. No, I think she's planning to come closer to the solstice.
Okay. Then tomorrow I might go and drop off like the other. I'll give an extra one to Saren to give to her dad.
Okay. Cool. So that's is that 4 or 5?
So I gave 2 to Saren, 1 to Adlar, 1 to Gaddick,
It's 4.
and then so I have 2 left over. Yes. So I think for the time being it would just be those 4 should hand out.
Those 4?
Yeah.
Okay. And you got 2 more on you.
Mhm.
Okay. I think when you are handing these out, there's definitely a level of incredulity coming from your friends. How much of this are you going to explain to them?
I'll just tell them I've been. I'll be pretty honest, I guess.
Okay.
I'll be like, I just got threatened by a pirate lord named La Shirag, who's leader of a cult that worships the thing that destroyed our village, Saren. And they are after survivors. And he's hunting me down. So I don't want y'all to him to know about any of you.
Oh. Yeah. Gaddick is just like, well, fuck. That's not cool. Saren, I think, for the first time since you've seen her, like reunite with her after the incident, Saren actually does look a little shaken. I think Adlar probably takes the amulet without any comment, really, but it definitely gets the impression like we can talk about this later if you need to. And yeah, Saren, I think, does kind of go quiet for a moment before she's like, "Yeah, I should probably get this home sooner than later, huh?"
I have 2 more. I was planning on going to the village tomorrow to give it to my mom and somebody else.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with you then. Sure.
Yeah, I have to talk to Alexia before I go.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know where we're staying, so I guess I'll just meet you in the morning and we can catch a ferry.
I think Lauren would probably pull like Saren aside and leave everybody else and kind of talk with her and
Yeah.
try to reassure her and stuff.
Yeah. You can tell she's pushing to rally, but there's definitely like a level of like shakiness that was not there before.
Yeah, so I think she'll pull her aside from everybody else and go spend the day with her, try to
Okay.
get her to relax a little bit, and then go back and join the group later.
Sure. Okay. Cool. So, Lauren is getting precautions in place.
Sorry, y'all, you're fucked. You're with me, so be ready. Oh, Mr. Lashiragi.
What are the rest of you doing?
I mean,
I
if
think
I
we
had,
all know.
Barnaby's fishing.
Barnaby's
Barnaby.
having
no, he's perfecting the art of origami.
"Oh no, Barnaby found a fish lady." He's like, "That's a good catch."
He caught a mermaid.
I already caught a croc a few days ago.
Your back.
You also caught a triton.
I would love it if a hot triton came out of the water. He's like, "Oh, you caught me, bad boy," and he's like, "I can't eat you."
He just throws her back in.
Grabs her by the arms.
Yeah, just,
That gumbo would be terrible.
And I might be arrested.
I mean, I'm surprised I didn't get arrested for shooting a green warden.
Wait, if I put you in a gumbo, would that technically be cannibalism? You ain't the same race as me or nothing.
I mean, it depends if Tritons consider eating fish cannibalism.
Yeah.
Lauren would be really concerned.
I mean, humans do eat monkey brains,
Yep.
so it's same thing for fish to tritons as humans to monkey brains, I guess.
Well,
if my understanding is correct, I am stuck doing these revivify scrolls.
Yes, I believe those will be done in like 3 or 4 days. And Lauren's supposed to be helping you with those.
Yeah, I think I'd probably go talk to Burberry.
Touch base.
Yeah, and be like, "Hey, I know I said I was gonna help you, but if you want to wait a few days, I need to go to my village tomorrow." I got a message from Washerod, lo and behold, threatening to find me, and I want to try to put in some precautions.
And threatening to find you?
Well, he said, "I have other ways to find you because I've been wearing this amulet of non-detection." So he's clearly been trying to find me.
Fun.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that, buddy?
Great. I'm having a wonderful time. I'm really excited for when me and Boshog first meet up. Like, we're gonna have tea, cake, cookies. It's just gonna be a big old get together.
Oh, so you're playing hard to get right now.
Yeah, real hard
Gotcha.
to get. If he's lucky, maybe he can. But we'll see what happens.
Am I supposed to also be taking that tone? You don't have to take that tone, but I have to admit, I'm horribly curious of what it would sound like. You're way too fine for that piece of tail, girl.
Oh, thanks, guys. Thank you. I know it. He'd be lucky.
It's okay, you tried. I feel like I gave up part of my soul there.
It's okay. We're gonna work on it together, Barry. Okay.
I would rather not. I feel a little debased. I am not doing that again. Oh, come on. So funny though.
All right, Barry. Show him how it's done. Show him how it's done first.
Bam. All right, I got you. Come on, girl. You got fast. Way too fine for that guy.
It's true.
Why did I just sound like I smoked a pack of cigarettes?
Because Burst smokes like a fucking chimney.
With the Lord.
Excuse me. Nobody smokes like a fucking chimney in this house. And I'm really glad that I don't talk like that because I would die.
You would have had no voice by the end of this campaign.
No. I mean, this one's a nice save. But yeah, no. I mean, look. What was I going to say? I have no idea. I saw a shiny thing in the corner that looked vaguely like an arachnid, and I got excited. Anyway, that's exciting. Look forward to seeing how that goes. If you think he's within spitting distance, please warn us. Granted, I didn't give you a lot of warning whenever that whole thing happened.
I feel like it's gonna be like, "Surprise, bitch," and then I'll be like, "Oh, hey, Sharon, what's up? Okay, I'm gonna go. Have a great life." Let's hope we never meet again. Dang.
Well, in that scenario, it would be better if he... Wait, has he seen you?
No, but I'm sure Varys told him all about
No,
it.
no. But it's similar to whenever you're trying to sending with someone. It's a lot easier to do that if you are more familiar with them, and while doing it secondhand off of a description that somebody else gives you is possible, it is still markedly more difficult than if you've laid eyes on them and you've met them. So if he hasn't met you, that should kind of put a slight hamper on it. And I don't think that Varys did Varys strike you as the type to be able to cast illusion spells? Or have any sort of artistic talent?
I wouldn't put illusion past him. No, because he literally did like the little thing in the carriage and was showing her stuff with the magic. Yeah, no, he can cast illusion.
like prestidigitation types of illusion, or like minor types of illusion?
I think minor, because he was like showing me like creatures and stuff in the carriage.
Okay, all right.
So,
Well, that's unfortunate.
so pretty sure lots of
Thankfully, Varys is in jail.
I'm gonna go kill him. Just kidding. I'm not gonna do that, but I really.
Hey, Lauren, you want to hear a joke?
What's up?
Why will I never sleep with you?
Why?
Because the fatality count is too high.
Ooh. I mean, I'm almost 2 for 2, because, I mean, if I get the chance, I'm squishing.
I mean, to be fair, you had the chance, you just kind of let it walk right through it. It is not polite to tease someone for choosing to make a good, morally correct decision.
Yeah, I decided not to kill him. You should be proud of me. You should be telling me right now not to be killing Varys, because I really, really want to.
But it'd be so funny to watch.
I know.
Thank God you will never see it.
But yeah, I'm not killing him.
Cool.
You know, it's funny. I haven't talked this much to myself since I DM Blast.
Well, Burberry knows now. Noelle is still in her room. Barnaby's fishing. John is in Helmfirth. Is there anything before Aloran goes back to the Green Keep to meet with Alexei?
Just real quick, I'd probably, at some point in the afternoon or whatever, go out disguised and just try and... I mean, I'd leave the Presidium as Noelle, but I'd quickly duck somewhere in disguise and just see if I can figure out if this Emerald Rail Company Expo is a real thing. That's all.
Would you like assistance? Because it occurred to me I haven't checked to see if there's any delicacies for my hometown in Freeport, and the likelihood is much higher than on Onderbahn.
Yeah, if you'd like to come. I'm not going to be me, though, Burberry.
But you're always you.
I mean, I'm not going to look like me.
Oh, hold on. Let me see how smart and or dumb I'm being at the moment.
Hey, are you gonna roll a d20 and if it's below 10, you're dumb?
So, this one's for who's actively on top, and this one is for how much they put 2 and 2 together, which just rolled off the table. So that bodes well.
Yeah, that's what happened to mine. It rolled off the table, and I was like, nope.
Okay, so we've got Barry on top, and he rolled a nat 20, so yeah, he knows exactly what's going on.
Oh. Perceptive.
It's probably because I pay more attention to you than I should. Sorry. Um, which version of you are you being? And are you going to be okay?
Boy, I don't even know where to start. I think it's okay. I ran into someone today, my mother, a very negative figure in my life. She is in town, by coincidence apparently, but I don't know if I've ever heard her tell the truth. So I wanted to be sure.
Hold on. Processing.
She doing double take.
I mean, when you did I know your mother from before?
No, you only would have seen Noelle like when she would have had free time in like the day. She would never have brought you home or introduced you to anyone.
Okay. No, I'm just asking because the next response would vary.
Sure, I got you.
So normally I would say, oh, that's wonderful. It must be so nice to see your parent again, but judging by that tone, that's not necessarily a good thing.
Not in this case.
Then I would definitely would like to go with you if that's okay. That seems like a lot to go on your shoulders, and I worry.
It's just gonna be really quick. I just need to find out if this event that she mentioned in the 2 sentences we shared with each other is actually happening. Because I'll be honest, I'm a little paranoid that she's here for me for some reason.
You mentioned something about an expo?
She said Emerald Rail Company Grand Expo before the solstice. I just wanted to see if that was a real thing.
Well, we might want to actually check with the conclave for that, the one that makes stuff, because if it's an expo and if it's got trains involved, I imagine they're rather excited.
We could start
only
there.
for the fact
I
that
don't
there's
really
a
know where to start,
large
so.
locomotive. Plus, there's only so many places that are big enough to host that kind of thing.
True. Yeah, I if you want to come, Burberry, that's fine.
If you will have me.
Sure.
Okay. So, heading into town, Noelle disguising herself once you reach the edge of the city.
Yeah.
What are we looking like?
I'll just be some human dude.
Cool. Just a dude.
Just a dude.
Walking around with his cool priest buddy.
Yep.
And you're looking for news on the Emerald Rail Company Grand Expo.
Random message. How detailed is your backstory? Is your name Joe, or is it something silly like Kyle?
I like Kyle.
Kyle. I hate Kyle.
We have a character dynamic.
Okay, did you want to go to the conclave and ask about the expo, or did you want to like poke around town?
We can start the conclave. There's no harm in that.
Yeah, okay, cool. Heading
Plus,
to...
any, like, I imagine large factions would kind of have their fingers in a lot of pots, so they would probably know about events.
Yeah, that's fair. Head to the Temple of Viridia, and you want to talk to the Andresser guys about this?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, the dwarven head priest of the Andresser's clergy. As soon as you mention the expo, he's like, "Oh, hey, are you going to the expo too? Very exciting."
I haven't decided yet.
You interested in trains?
Maybe.
They are very large and powerful, and it's hard to imagine that there's anybody that wouldn't be fascinated by how much force that it can generate, given only the amount of input of energy that is put in. Wow, sorry, that sounded redundant. You know what I mean.
I'd followed about half of that, but yeah, no, I'm real excited for it myself.
Basically, large output, low input. It's cool.
Yes, no, it's quite fascinating. No, it's a little sad. You know, we weren't really able to get in under the deadline for the engine submission, but you know, I'm still excited to see what folks have been cooking up for this.
Were you going to do a magical one instead of a steam combustion one?
Well, we were hoping we might be able to convince the big man upstairs to maybe imbue a vessel with some, you know, divine will, so to speak. But
Would that be so cool?
you know, it was sort of a tricky thing to formulate, and the time got a little away from us, so we kind of missed the deadline. But next year,
There's always
right?
next year, yeah.
Yeah, right. But yeah, no, I hear there's a number of groups actually are going to be showing off their engines. Only one's getting selected, but still, you know, it's an exciting time. Very curious to see what's going on.
Could you imagine what would happen if you put the what's the name of that spell? Sorry, water walk? Could you imagine what would happen if you managed to imbue a train with water walk so that it could coast on the top of water instead of sinking whenever it hit the beach?
Isn't that just a boat?
Yes, but this in theory this would be a thing that could just move across land and water at like both instead of having to stop at the shore.
What if you put wheels on a boat?
Look. Look. This is
I
a
love how
training
this character
expo. The
goes
boat
playing.
expo 2 months from now.
This character Noah's playing is such a killjoy. It's like you just put wheels on a fucking boat.
Well,
See,
I'm
this
just
is why we
playing
hate
into
Kyle.
the dynamic we established. Questions I would ask real quick. When is it, and is it pretty common for investors to come across Lythor to visit this and offer, you know, money for investments and stuff?
I mean, I don't know not much about the investment side of things, but I mean, I've heard there's a fair deal of attention. This whole thing's caught. I mean, Emerald Rail's been, you know, building that line to chase her for over a year now, and I think they're going to be extending it down to Himalar this coming spring is the plan. Which, you know, I mean, if we can get that line all the way from Sonnery down to Gossifheim, I mean, that'd be a hell of a ride. And I think folks definitely see the potential in that. Be the first real train anywhere on the Emerald Coast. You know, I think there's more than enough reason to be excited about it.
And when is
Not just trains. Oh, right. I suppose it's supposed to happen the week of the 50th.
Oh, it's right around the solstice?
Yeah, it's happening like just before. I think they're planning to have like a big, you know, Christmas party thing at the end.
Oh, also a train imbued with water walk couldn't sink.
Now that's an idea.
Well, you know, unless you smash it to pieces, but that would be significantly difficult for a fish.
He takes a piece of paper out of his pocket and just scribbles that down real quick, tucks it away. A swimming train.
Oh, we'll leave you to that.
Yeah, well,
I mean, you know, if they're late for this year, they could just add
they
to
got
the
a whole year to
list.
prototype.
You make the first intercontinental rail.
Yeah.
Oh, and the monetization for that would be excellent.
So, yeah, I mean, it's
So
happening.
that was
last
pretty
week of the
much
year.
all I needed. I would probably tell Burberry on the way back. I'd say probably once we got kind of close to the Presidium, I would switch back to Noel. I would just say, Burberry, I'm not really sure what to do, to be honest. I told you my mom was around. I don't get along with her, to say the least. I'm terribly paranoid that she's here for some reason to find me. But she was apparently telling the truth about this expo, and she seemed genuinely surprised to see me. And if I want to leave that part of my past behind, should I just let her do her thing? Ignore it? not worry about it.
Hold on, let me get my Freud glasses off.
And just sit back in a chair. It all started when I was a kid.
As they all do. Actually, before we head straight back to the proceeding, I actually did want to look for food from my kind of cuisine that was available in
We
Shreveport.
could make a roll for that real quick.
Maybe I could find more squidsicles.
Give me an investigation check.
I will aid.
Squidsicles everywhere I go. Okay, thank you very much for the aid, because that helped. 19.
19. Okay, yeah. I'll say you, so far in your time in Freeport, have found the best luck finding sort of international cuisine in the freeholds. So you kind of poke around that neighborhood. You eventually find like a few blocks that look to have like a number of like kind of Tharjan shops and little eateries. And there's one guy who's got a little kind of cold room set up underneath his apartment. And he's literally just like serving out to the street over a counter that is just filled with like ice and fish bits on sticks and
Fish bits.
all kinds
That
of fish bits.
sounds
Yeah, but I had pickled dork. Fantastic. But no, he will definitely have squid pops on hands, and it's like a silver a piece.
I'm excited for the squid pops. But how much variety of this fish on sticks are we talking here?
Well, squid
You
pops
piqued
are the
my
big
interest.
seller. But I mean, he's got a number of different sorts of seafood on a stick that's been pickled and salted and frozen. So
How big is my cold bag?
it's like a lunchbox, like a big, like cooler lunchbox.
I would like to buy as much stuff as I could feasibly fit inside of this lunchbox.
Okay, sure. We'll say that's probably like 2 gold worth then.
All right. Fill my lunchbox.
Really breaking the bank.
I know, right? I was prepared. I was like, how much
He's-
would I
he's
need to buy this
Glad
man
to
out?
take it. You got your pickled halibut on a stick. You got some pickled salmon on a stick. You got some pickled jellyfish on a stick, which just looks like a block of ice, honestly.
I feel like this will be more fun later because it'll be like, do you want a pickled fish on a stick? And every time they roll, like the roll rolls is they just got a bad fish. Like, okay. And I will buy one for the lovely Miss Noelle.
Sure.
I'm Kyle.
Sorry. Right.
Well,
Bro.
Ooh, I don't want fish.
You'll
God.
take it and you'll like it.
Whoa!
God damn.
Dark side of Burberry.
I'm sorry. Did I do that right?
That's fine.
Here, I'll buy an extra apology.
Great.
Okay, and sorry, side back into
Yes.
the thing.
On the way back then.
Right. Well, I admittedly don't know much about dysfunctional families. As you know, I quite like mine, which seems to be a unusual thing in this group.
A rarity, apparently.
Yeah, I think. Anyway, but do you think leaving her to her own devices would provide you any type of anxiety, or are you more in John's camp of let's murder and/or imprison our parentage?
If there's ever, she certainly deserves to go to prison. But
Whoa. Whoa.
I did not understand a word of that.
I heard whoa.
I'm in a camp for imprisoning my parents?
We did imprison both of your
We
parents.
did imprison
John.
both of your parents, so yes.
And you did not seem to have a problem with this.
Both of my parents were
Okay,
either
wait.
tricking me into killing the other one, or
All right.
was a giant pirate asshole.
All right, wait. Okay, so let's just Clark, back this up again. Okay, so first we went for the sole purpose of imprisoning your dad to free your mother, and then whenever we did imprison your dad to free your mother, you didn't even go say hi to your mom afterwards. You were just like, "Bye, bitch."
Okay, well, she literally tricked me into doing that.
Yeah,
You're
but
not-
from
you're
what
not-
I've heard from Noelle's mom, she's a terrible person too.
And also, he was a giant dick, so I have no problem with him getting a comfort.
Well, I think Noelle's mom's a giant dick.
Yeah,
So,
you're
here's the
saying
question.
you're saying
Does-
these things, and you're not fighting the "I wanted to imprison my parents" bit, because everything you just said was like, "Yeah, I'm cool with this."
The question is Noelle also cool with it?
Was imprisoning her parents?
I
Also,
think that was
is
the question.
I'm sorry to ask this. Is she like you?
Oh, a changeling? No.
Yeah, like does
She wishes.
so she can.
She wishes.
You just hear a loud snort from underneath the cloak. The cloak. It's like that's not necessary. That's not a good thing.
I mean it quite literally. If she had my abilities, she could get away with whatever the hell she wanted. That's why she got me
Well,
around for so long.
Well, I suppose that does at least put one thing in your favor. I know that you generally favor wearing the one face, and a lovely face it is. But if she really wanted to find you, she'd be very hard pressed if you did not want to be found.
That's why it's so weird that she found me.
Well, from what it sounded like, you said she sounded surprised.
Yes, apparently, but
Or are you worried that now she has seen you, that she'll actively want to find you again?
well, first I was worried that she was here to find me specifically, but now that she knows I'm here, yes, I am worried that she is going to try and do something about it, because I think I may be kind of a loose thread. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't care. She already found a replacement.
That's very dark.
Yeah. Her daughter left and she found a new one. By the way, if you see any human looking or walking around town who looks exactly like me, that's Lorelei.
Killer?
Got
Do you think you could? And if the answer's no, hey, Noelle, do you think you could turn into her real quick so that whenever we see her, we know who to punch in the face?
I think she would probably figure out what, that happened if she suddenly got punched in the face randomly.
I mean, I would still have no regrets.
I mean, I'm just saying, Lauren's not there, but if you really want to fuck with your mom, Lauren can turn into a bear, pretend she's really drunk, and be like, ah, you're dumb bitch, and then run away. Be like, did you see that lady's face? I got her.
Out of character, trust me, I've thought of it.
Pretend, you said pretend like you're drunk, like you're not drunk.
She doesn't
Yeah,
know.
no. She's saying to pretend that she's not a functioning alcoholic, that she's just regular.
Exactly.
Sorry, I didn't hear you, Pete. Can you repeat that?
Boy, I don't remember where the conversation left off, but...
Sweet. You started with out of character, and then you said...
Oh, I just said out of character. I've thought about whether it'd be worth getting revenge on her, but... part of why she's so terrifying, Burberry, is that she is always thinking ahead. She's very smart.
Well, I am not trying to grandize us as a group or anything like that, but I find that generally trying to think ahead is a wonderful skill set until shit hits the fan. And judging by the stuff that we've experienced, in some regard, we're the shit.
I bet she never made a plan for a kamikaze barbarian falling from the sky.
I also imagine that she didn't really plan on. I find that the number of people that can turn into bears is rather low.
We can jump her, John.
We can also dazzle
I'm so glad that
plans.
no one else is here for
Um,
this conversation.
It's just that
Um,
everyone just wants to reenact that fucking closing scene from Rick and Morty where they fucking beef up and just beat the shit out of everyone. For Del Noel's mom.
and I will say that obviously whatever you want to do, I'll be happy to support you. And we do have some wonderful, if somewhat dysfunctional friends, who also will have your back every time. If only because they would want to see what your mother looks like, which different anyway.
I do appreciate that.
So.
I just...
I need to go buy a book on how to talk to people. That'd be great.
I know, I'm sorry to dump all this on you.
No, thank you. I would like to be all the help that I can.
I still kind of stand by my initial question, though. Is this worth brain space at this point? Is it worth thinking about this? Because it's gonna bug me for the rest of the whole, however long we're here. I'm gonna be thinking about it and worrying about it. But I don't know that if I go sneak up and infiltrate, or I send a Lauren as a spider to listen in on their conversations or something, if that's gonna make me feel any better. It's probably not going to. Probably just gonna make it worse.
Well, then back to the initial question: are you in the murder and/or imprison your parents' camp? Voices in the distance withstanding.
Let me do it. John and I have a plan.
Because, no, I'm gonna keep that.
I don't
Never mind.
know if she deserves to be murdered. But the
Okay,
problem
so
is, Burberry,
Thankfully, that gets taken off the table.
if she
Like, hear
goes
that.
to prison, I'd probably go to prison too.
Kyle wouldn't go to prison.
That's true.
Kyle would not go to prison. I guess that is technically accurate. Even though he totally deserves to go to jail. You know Kyle's not a real person, right?
He is
Yeah,
an
but I hate the
asshole,
guy. He said no to fish sticks.
though. It hurt my heart to do that.
Thank you, Noelle. It means a lot. Well, if it's going to bother you, then you are in the position to do something about it now. Which, from my understanding, which mildly limited, so limited, yes, we get it. You were not in before. And there is something to be said for being able to take control of the reins of your own life.
That's a fair point.
And speaking frankly, you're not Lorelei. You're Noelle. And if this is one of the ways to put Lorelei to rest, then I feel like it would be a good step.
Nope.
Whether you mean you as Lorelei or Lorelei as Lorelei. Anyway.
I get what you're saying. That's good advice, actually. I'll think about it a little bit more, but this was helpful.
Let us know if we can help.
Definitely.
We being the royal we and the literal we. Wait, can I even use the royal we?
We. Yeah, I guess. So this is, man, all this shit's happening the same day.
Sorry.
I was thinking like, oh, should I go talk to Lauren? But she's probably fucking freaking out about La Chirac right now.
You don't know that.
You don't know that
I
though.
know.
I mean, she could know that because I know she's freaking out about.
Do you think I should talk to Lauren today, Burberry, and see if she'd be willing to help? Do you think she's free? She seemed pretty like she's not doing too bad.
Well,
Stress free.
She's been drinking and partying.
She's been enjoying herself.
oh,
I'm just
no,
glad
no.
everyone else's vacations have been messed up.
I mean, mine's been fine.
Lauren's vacation's been really messed up.
Oh no. Okay, all right. No, I got this. Hold on. Just like turns into a lump and then like restacks. All right. So Laura, well, I was about to say Lorelei, and Lorelei, haha. Anyway, Lauren. Oh my God, there's so much gossip on Lauren right now. I'm gonna keep most of it to myself because she seems to like keeping that kind of nonsense herself. But she is in the shithole right now.
What happened?
And it is amazing. Like, the paranoia is creeping in, and she will totally be willing to help you if only to avoid her own problems.
That sounds like a Lauren. Is this important? Like, is this bad? What happened?
It can't be anything worse than we've already been through. You know, with the whole thrown into an alternate dimension with an evil teeth god thing versus breaking a boat god. Basically, it can't get any. Well, I guess technically it could get worse than that because there's a whole cult behind it. But on a 1-to-1 scale, it can't get any worse.
So the worst possible thing that could have happened to a Lauren happened to a Lauren?
No, because her dad's still dead. No, wait, that sounds bad. I'm so sorry, Johnny.
Does this have to do with the cult?
Yes.
Bird's been drinking or doing some kind of something.
No, there are secrets out, Johnny.
Excuse me, I have been doing nothing. It's just I've been rolling very poorly and haven't been getting on the top much.
He's pent up.
That entire sentence was amazing. Anyway, please.
Maybe I should.
Thank you.
Maybe I should just ask Lauren what the hell's going on.
Yes, because while I have already said way too much, she would probably want to fill you in on the particulars herself. But yeah, no, she'd be totally willing to help with your problem, if only because it would bring some spider turning into a bear and falling on your mother.
It would be funny.
And in character. Oh, but what would happen if you also put the bear on cocaine?
It's a good question.
Cocaine bear Lauren. Sounds like a terrible combination.
Oh, it sounds like a great B movie.
We could have done it with Pive.
We could have.
Could have tried it.
I mean, we are not limited to the past. There's always tomorrow.
I don't even know where
I
to
could
get
resurrect
cocaine.
Pive and then drop a barrel. We're not doing that. You're no fun.
Well, I guess I'm gonna go find a Lauren to figure out what the hell Burberry was talking about. Unless she's not accessible.
I think you'd probably find her eventually, or well, you have a sending stone, so you can always message her too.
That's true.
I'll send her and be like, Lauren, I have all of the frozen fish you could ever want.
I think I remember liking it okay. She's like, ooh, that's exciting.
There's more than squid now.
Ooh, okay, now we're talking.
I have halibut and pike and jellyfish. And is this a... Yep, that's a pepperfish.
Jellyfish. I would say Noelle would be able to find a Lauren at some point. Okay. Especially if you said...
Consider putting jellyfish stingers in your hair. I feel like that would look pretty.
So, y'all can meet up somewhere in Freeport.
This is the same day that she's going to get the detection amulets?
She's already gotten that, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. So yeah, at some point, just running to Lauren. Lauren, I wanted to ask real quick. Burberry was telling me on our walk that something bad happened. Are you okay?
Oh yeah,
Not all the details. Walks by in the background.
Homie didn't have enough of me, and now he wants more. So, just kidding. I never met him.
Me? You talking about Adlar? What? La Chirag.
Yeah, I got a message from him earlier today. He said, "I won't forget. Clever to conceal yourself. I have other ways to find you." So, I'm doing great. Anyways, what's your going on with you? We don't need to talk about that.
Terrifying?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I guess it's good we know, though, that he's looking for you.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know, as good as it can be.
He was nice enough to warn you ahead of time. Could you think about how bad it was if he hadn't?
It's true. I have a weird request for you, Lauren.
Hit me with it, please.
Are you busy in the next... I guess, I don't know, what time would we be having this conversation, DM?
Afternoon.
When are you free today?
Right? Meow.
Okay.
Told you!
Ooh, do I get to turn into a bear? Do I get to turn
I'd
into
prefer if you
something?
didn't.
Oh.
Okay, I'll just give you the short version.
Disappointment!
I haven't shared much with you guys about my circumstances around when I was growing up and what happened to me, but I'll say this much. My mother's in town. I don't like her. She's a very bad person. I don't know why she's here exactly. I have an idea. I think is true, but I'm not sure. And I would love if you could just learn a little bit more, if you could be like a spider or something and just go listen.
Be a sneaky bitch. I can be a sneaky bitch.
I know she's staying at the chateau, and that's kind of it. I don't have any specific things I'd want you to listen for or anything, but anything you could tell me about if she reveals that she wants to find me or look for me again, she knows that I'm here now. So I'm a little paranoid, I guess.
No. Just listen.
Prefer if you did not kill her. I know that's more boring for you, but
I suppose. I can do that.
as terrible as she is, I don't know if she's someone who deserves death. But she definitely
yes,
deserves
that's
to
a
be
different
spied on.
tier of asshole. She's only at the silver tier. You need to be at least gold tier.
But yeah, I can go do that. You said that the chateau?
Yeah, there's going to be 3 people. There's, I guess, I've never really described my parents before, but did I write descriptions for them in the backstory thing? Do you remember or no?
There's
I think I gave like 1 sentence for each of them.
yeah. Let me pull them up. So Martin.
Yes. Yeah, I
Man.
would share the names and stuff.
Human, thin salt and pepper hair, pale skin, and Amelia.
You just described my dad.
Who's
Who's also named Martin.
Long,
Wait, really?
straight hair, and slightly tan skin. And that's all you wrote.
Resting bitch face.
With resting bitch face.
Yeah. I think the biggest tell, though, is they would have someone who looks exactly like me, but is a human.
Okay. I can work with that.
And my dad, Martin, isn't really directly involved usually with their bullshit, so if there's ever a moment where she and the woman, Lorelei, are alone, that would probably be where you'd get the most information.
Okay. Got it. Okay, I can go head over there. Well, Can you just like eat at the chateau? Do you know, or do you have to have like a room or anything there?
There's a restaurant. You can just walk.
Yeah,
in.
there's a restaurant, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll
All
find
right.
them there, but maybe you'll see someone walking through the lobby or something, or can ask where the room is. I don't know.
Can we just take a moment to acknowledge how fucked up it is that she's just like, oh, well, I lost one daughter. Guess I'll just put a different person in the exact same spot. Could you imagine how demoralizing that must be for a person?
How long does it take to change out the tattoos?
An hour.
An hour.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna switch out the barrier tattoo for the masquerade tattoo.
What does that look like?
The which one?
The tattoo?
Like, how? What is it? No, I mean, like, what does it look like whenever you switch focuses on your tattoos?
It's supposed to be like a needle.
Yeah,
like,
you get a
pull
needle
out.
that you press into your skin.
And you pull it out, it just turns back into a needle.
Mhm.
So
Well, list on magic items I'm never getting.
it's not even that you push the needle in. It's like you touch the needle to your skin, and then it just starts to turn into ink. And then just
that's less herring.
and then you can just pull it out the same way.
Oh, speaking of herring, hand you a fish on a stick.
I feel like Lauren then would go to the chateau. She would go to the restaurant, probably give it like an hour or so and see if she sees anybody.
Are you going to go as yourself?
Yes.
I'll say give me a perception check.
20. Unnatural.
A natural 20? Okay. Are you sitting at the bar or are you getting a table?
Bar.
Okay. Do I have to ask? So with the 20, you going into the chateau, which is a very, very, very nice hotel in the center of Freeport. It's hella ritzy, big fucking crystal chandelier in the lobby. The restaurant honestly reminds you a lot of the dining hall at the Royal Colonial back on Daggermore, but bigger and somehow like it's both more extravagant and more tasteful at the same time.
Okay.
Much more muted color palette, like very elegant kind of swooping architecture. And the crowd here is ritzy and diverse.
You know
Lots of rich, bougie motherfuckers hanging out here
I
having
did
dinner.
just get like an extravagant outfit, so I'm sure I fit right in. Besides being unclothed.
You are easily the least dressed person in this room.
Really? What the
Yeah.
heck?
Everyone in here is wearing like, jackets and like suits and ties and very like nice button down like dresses. Like they're much more covered than you are. You have got so much fucking skin showing compared to everyone in this
But
room.
the outfit should kind of.
It's nice. I'm not saying it's not a nice outfit. I'm saying you are the least dressed
Yeah,
because you
okay.
have the least clothes on.
She's used to that. So.
Yeah, but I mean, with the amount of jewelry and gold incorporated into it, it's not super off, like, class, I guess.
Yeah.
Definitely draw some eyes. Definitely see a handful of husbands getting the purse from their wealthy wives who
I feel
don't
like-
appreciate the staring.
Lauren would be a fucking bitch and just wink at him. Just to be a bitch.
Couple of the dudes are like, oh, they like blush, and then one of the women just like scowls and like grabs her fucking partner, and they just like storm out.
Oh, Lauren's laughing.
He's like looking over his shoulder back at you.
She's laughing. She did that just
You
for fun.
do not see over the course of this hour anyone matching the description Noelle gave you, unfortunately.
Okay. I will then. I'll go maybe like pop outside for a second, take a smoke break, kind of look at my surroundings, see if I see anybody coming down the hallways or anything, like down the street towards the hotel.
Okay. I say we'll ride that 20. You, I think you'd probably notice, probably like a little ways down towards the corner of the building, also smoking. There are a couple of men who strike you as sort of out of place in their dress. You've seen soldiers and guards around Freeport, and sort of the private security tends to be pretty motley. It's, leathers and maybe some chain or a plate here or there. Very like kind of rugged frontier style armor. The army's a little bit more uniform, but they're still like pretty like piecemeal. These guys are wearing like very nicely polished and like acid engraved, like filigreed half plate mail. And they've got these sort of like those sort of ballooned like striped pantaloons where they kind of like puff out above the knee. These really like high boots, armored greaves. Like they've got kind of like a Swiss Guard kind of vibe to them. And it's very out of place for Freeport. Very formal armor that they're wearing. And they both got like a sword and a shield at their side, a helmet under one arm, and like cigarettes in their hands. And one of them's got like a sharp little goatee and like a very like thin little pointed mustache. The other one has a much thicker curled mustache, and their hair's got like this really nice like kind of pompadour, sort of like gelled up and slicked back situation going on. And listening in, they're both talking in a language that you don't understand, but sounds extremely familiar. It sounds a lot like Noel's accent.
I guess Lauren's gonna like.
Yeah, that's what she sounds.
Lauren will probably like walk over there, kind of see if they're guarding anything.
They're literally standing on a smoke break, just shooting the shit, talking to each other. As you walk up, one of them turns to you, he's like, "Oh, monsieur, mademoiselle, how are you doing tonight?"
Good. How are you?
Doing good.
What are you doing?
Taking a quick break before we get back to work. But
What do you do for your job?
we are bodyguards.
Oh,
Exciting.
exciting.
Yes. With the folk from back inland, in the Midlands.
Yeah.
Have you ever been?
I have not. No.
No? You would like it, I think.
Yeah.
Beautiful place. We have a great lake out that way. I think you would find quite beautiful. Just like yourself.
Charm.
His buddy will sort of lean in. He'll be like, "What brings you out to the chateau this fine evening, madame?"
Oh, just wanted something to eat, drink a little bit. Have a good night,
Looking for a good night? Okay. And, my friend and I, we are on duty for another few hours, but maybe when you are done, maybe when you're finished, we can find you. We might have a nice night with you. What do you think?
Sure.
What's your play? What's your play here? What are you doing?
I feel like she'd probably just keep flirting with them and be like, "Oh, so like, who are you? Someone has to be really important if you guys are the ones like bodyguarding." Who are you?
You'll be right.
Try to get like information out of them.
Sure. I'll say give me a performance check. We're just floating up a storm.
16 plus 2.
All right, 18. Solid. I think they're pretty receptive, and they are, as I said, very enamored with you. It is not too difficult to get information out of them. They're sort of chatting themselves up as much as they're hitting on you. And it's we are guards to the illustrious Cotemarche family. They are quite powerful folk back in Elia.
Oh.
You are familiar?
I think I actually might have heard of them before.
You see, our reputation precedes us.
That's really cool.
Yes, no, they're in town on business. We are here to protect them. but they conduct their business. It is a simple arrangement, but it pays well.
Nice.
We do very well for ourselves.
Lauren's not laughing, but Connie is.
These guys are laying it on real.
Oh, I know.
Thick.
I feel like Lauren's like, whew, this is a lot. Okay, cool. I'll probably be around, so I guess if you find me later, if you can.
If, oh, mademoiselle, you break a heart. No, do not say if. When is the operative word. We'll be off at 9 o'clock. We will find you. We will show you a good time. You can show us the wonders of Freeport. We have only just arrived. There is so much to learn.
I feel like as she's walking away, she's like, Adlar, dear God. These fucking guys are so obnoxious.
If we go to
It's gay.
Aelia, that's how every single NPC is going to sound.
That was when the party decided to never go to.
See, this is I built in protection so we don't do my backstory.
Yeah, you message Adler. Adler's like, what guys are you talking about? Fuck, I'm doing the first one.
What guys
what is
are you
that?
talking about?
What guys are you talking about? Oh shit, he does. Who are you talking to? Who are you? I can't do it. I can't do Adler's accent. Oh, no.
Can I just say, completely out of character, when we first went to Faeril, it was so hard to keep Noelle's accent against the one you were doing, Plet. They bleed into each other very easily.
They really do, and I can't do Adler's now.
It's okay. You got this.
You got this.
You got this.
There we go. There we go. Thank you. Adler says, "What guys? What guys are we talking about?"
She'll leave him on hold. Well, she can't respond, so.
He'll be like, "Where are you? What are you doing right now?"
Doing a favor for Noel.
That's all you guys can say today. Cool. So what are you doing now?
I feel like one other thing she'd try to like see if she could get off the guys. It's like, oh, like what floor are you like staying on at the chateau?
Oh, we have rooms right there. And he'll point up to like the 6th floor. It's like we have a view of the bay, beautiful at night. You can see the lights across the water.
Sweet.
You will like it.
Cool. That was awesome.
Cool.
She'll duck into an alleyway.
Perhaps we can show you later. All right, so you duck into an alley.
Turn into a spider, and I'm gonna go up to this.
I'm sorry. I've just been struck blind. I'll never see anything again.
And then I'll
Do not worry, mademoiselle. I will be your eyes. So you crawl up the side of the building as a spider.
Lumiere, is that you?
Jesus. Anyway, so she's gonna crawl as a spider up to the 6th floor because I'm assuming that since they're bodyguards, they would probably be close to their rooms or like adjacent.
I don't know, it's a fair assumption.
Unfair. All right. So you crawl up to that window and look inside. The curtains are drawn, but there's a crack enough that you can kind of look in. And at a glance, the room is empty. You can see there are like armor cases open, and like there's like looks like spare plates and like some tools strapped into them still. There's some other like luggage kind of lying around, but nobody inside.
Okay. Can I check like the rooms next to them on the other side through the window?
Yep. To the left, you find another guard's room, and that one actually does have a couple of guys in bed, just asleep. There's on the right what looks to be a young couple enjoying their evening in Freeport. Or just skitters by.
Not bad,
They don't look like the court matches. So,
I think If like the other one, she'd go. If it was guard room, she'd check the room
next to that. Okay.
next to the guard room.
So at that point, you're getting close to the corner
Okay.
of the building and crawling over there. The lights are currently on, and as you get close, you hear another voice, woman's speaking in that accent, but in common.
Perfect.
And another woman's voice, also responding in common.
Okay.
And
I listen.
you just listen.
I'll take a peek, make sure like the description matches,
Okay.
and then she'll try to post up, and she'll only really move to get closer if it gets harder to hear.
All right.
And before she did this, she would have done pass without a trace.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and give me a stealth check then.
So it's a 12 plus 10.
I don't really know what they would do if they did spy. Oh no, there's a spider outside the window.
They could try to push her. I don't know. Well, just in case she has to go inside.
Yeah,
Mhm.
24.
fair point.
24. Okay, cool. So I think with a 24, you just kind of like nestle yourself like at the corner of the window and just kind of peek up over the edge of the window frame. And looking inside, you can see a pretty opulent suite, large kind of corner hotel room, big sitting area, very beautiful, like upholstered chairs, gold framed with like this bright red velvet upholstery on it. Huge bed in the corner, all this. And you can see the woman sitting on a couch against the wall under like a big mirror and just kind of casually leaned against the bar that kind of like sits in front of the kitchenette near the door. You can see a woman, human woman, who looks a lot like Noelle. She's wearing this like powder blue dress with like white embellishment and platinum blonde hair, bright blue eyes, very soft features. But she's standing with this very like uncharacteristic sort of nonchalance. Like you've never seen Noelle that relaxed. She's like just like an elbow propped up on the bar, like slouching over a stool, and just kind of gesticulating wildly as she talks. And she's currently responding with, "Look, I don't know what you think is going to happen, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. I really don't. I mean, it's your old girl, right?" And the woman says, "Yes, that was the old Lorelei." And the new Lorelei will continue onward. He's like, "Right, she's been gone for over a decade. We've got our thing here, completely unrelated. She shows up, big deal. I mean, what is the concern here? I mean, seriously, is she involved? Do you think she'd come and like, kind of ruin your little thing here?" And the older woman just holds up a hand, shaking her head, and she says, "That's besides the point. This could be a complicating factor, and we don't know anything at this moment, all right? We have a very specific task while we're here in town, and we need to carry it out. This cannot interfere. So what do you want me to do about it? I want you to find out why she's here. That's it. Just figure it out. Done. It's easy. It's not a problem. Relax." She just holds up her hands, big smile on her face. "It's going to be fine. Expo's in 2 weeks. We take care of our business. And we're scot-free. It's not going to be a problem. Trust me. I know what I'm doing." And the older woman just sharp inhale. She says, "I certainly hope so. You come highly recommended. And Lorelei just smiles and she's like, I'm the best. All right? Relax. Everything's out of control. In fact, I'll get on it tonight. And you see her kind of head to the bedroom, kind of like out into the pass through the living room and out of sight. And you just hear rummaging. The old woman just kind of sits on the couch, stares out the window, tapping her foot nervously. Kind of stands up and walks over and looks out. You just hear her mutter, "Where the fuck are those guards?" And at that point, she like opens the window and leans out, looks around. You too! And immediately you see the guards down below like jump and like look up. One of their helmets clouds out of their hands. And then it's just a string of very aggressive alien shouted down at them as they are very like frantically grabbing their helmets, throwing out their cigars, and hurrying back into the building. And then she just slams the window shut and kind of huffs off back to where she was sitting. And at that point, the Lorelei comes back out. Completely different face. New clothes. She's wearing this sort of like loose coat over what looks like leather armor, some kind of loose breeches. She's like, how do I look? She's like, I assume this is adequate for what you plan to be doing? She's like, all right, well, fun. I'll see you later, all right? Enjoy your evening, Miss Amelia. And she heads to the door and out of sight.
I will crawl down to the I'll go back into the alleyway, turn back into a Lorne, and do a disguise self with the masquerade tattoo.
Okay.
Look like a different person.
What do you look like?
I think she'll just go as like just a young person. Just like
human girl.
Yeah, just like a human girl, just not super
Right.
noticeable. Cool. And then she will just kind of follow what's her face, and then she'll send a message to Noelle.
Mm-hmm.
With the sending stone, and say, Lorelei's coming to find you to figure out why you're here. Your mother is concerned. I'm currently following her.
I'll message you again in a bit. Sounds like me and Amelia have the same train of thought tonight. Stay as hidden as you can. I guess that's all I can say right now. Godspeed.
Cool.
So Lauren will just keep following her because she does have pass without a trace for another
Sure.
I feel like that was a pretty short conversation.
Yeah, it was like 10 minutes.
Yeah, so 50 minutes.
So I will say Lorelei, quote unquote, she does not leave the hotel immediately. You will see her step into the restaurant, and she kind of like makes her over to the bar, talks to the bartender. You see her talking to some of the waiters. Like she just kind of moseys around the restaurant for probably about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I bet she's trying to figure out. I already know what she's doing.
Yeah. And you'll watch eventually she'll make her way across the lobby. She'll talk to the front desk. And like listening in on these conversations, very smooth talking young lady here as she is clearly trying to track down who or where Noelle was and where she came from. I guess my question to you is like, how closely are you tailing this person as a fucking spider? Are you just like staying to one spot and just kind of like pivoting as she kind of wanders around the lobby area?
Honestly, Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because she probably spends a solid
Okay, and then can I not use my disguise self that I did earlier if she didn't immediately leave the hotel? I probably would have waited to see if she left.
That's fine. Yeah.
But I would have just stayed in my spider form and just crawled into the hotel.
So we'll say your message and disguise self probably after you after you see her leave. So that's probably like another 20 minutes before she heads out into the street. So following at a distance as a nondescript human person.
Yes.
I'll say give me another stealth check.
Ooh. I got a 19 plus 10 plus 2.
That's a good roll.
19 plus 2, that is 31.
31.
That's good. Keeping your distance, but keeping your eye on her. You follow this woman for the remainder of this pass without trace as she sort of wanders around Freeport. And you see that she's primarily stopping at restaurants.
Mm.
And every conversation is about the same. Sometimes it comes out as like, I'm actually a private investigator. I'm working on a case. Have you seen a girl who looks about, da da da? And she like pulls out like a little sketch, and sometimes it's like, well, actually, I heard my friend was in town. She looks like that. Like it's a different fucking story every time.
Yeah.
But every time she's always describing someone who looks a lot very much like Noel, and every time it's another restaurant. And you can definitely tell she's starting to get exasperated because it's just like, how many fucking restaurants back is this going to take? You're probably going to have to re-up Pass Without a Trace.
Yeah, I will.
Right.
Yep. I think I have 3 spell slots for it, so she'll just keep.
There comes a point where she hits a dead end. And you see the body language shift, and she just kind of like throws her head back, kind of pauses at the counter. You see her order food and just kind of like sit at the bar, just kind of like elbow propped up, lean back, like chewing and thinking.
Oh yeah, she can't send to Noel to Lorelei.
I would probably have sent it after a bit of time passed. And just said like, any news, any updates? Are you doing okay?
Would that be right now when she stopped to eat?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I'll let her know where she's at.
Yeah. She's at the sandwich shop.
Okay. She's at the sandwich shop, Noel.
And I mean, you're like standing like, a couple buildings down, just kind of watching from like a telephone pole with a newspaper, and you see her just, a good sandwich. But yeah, she stopped there and she's eating right now. And just seems to be thinking.
Do I see Noel 30 minutes later?
What did you respond to my message?
Oh, I told you exactly like where she's at and that she's.
Oh, I see. Am I joining this? Am I coming to visit?
I don't know if you want to talk to her or not, or what.
I don't know either.
Because right now she's looking for you. So, and right now we know where she's at, so you can take her by surprise by finding her first.
That's true. Yeah, okay. I will, I'll probably show up in a disguise. And I probably wouldn't spot a Lauren given the Pass Without a Trace. But I guess if she told me where she was, I could go to that exact spot.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see Kyle. Hey.
I don't know who Kyle is.
Oh, sorry. It's not.
It's fine. Just look for the worst guy in the bar, and it's Kyle.
Yeah.
But I will say, I do see someone approach her at the at the restaurant,
Yeah.
Lauren would go in and like take a seat.
Okay.
Well, I'd say.
I will say,
Sorry, let me
by the
clarify.
time this meeting happens, your disguise self will have worn off.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you'll be yourself.
Oh, let me
But
clarify. I was saying that I was going to be Kyle until I got to the restaurant, then I'd switch back to Noel.
Oh, got it.
Okay.
I think then Lauren would probably go up to you and be like, "Do you want me to like take a seat somewhere else or something?"
Yeah, if you want to stay close.
Okay. So she'll follow Noelle in like a few minutes later and take a table close to wherever they are.
Okay.
And presumably Lauren would have described this person to me, or how they were disguised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's like dark skinned, but like this like long frizzy black hair, like under a cap, and just kind of like a coat and leather armor.
Okay. So when that person is, I don't know, distracted, looking over at something else, Noel would take a seat next to them. You're looking for someone?
I think even before you sit down, like you get close and like the head just kind of whips around to see you. Just like reflexively before they kind of go back to their drink and scribbling. And you sit down, you say something, and she like double takes. Kind of looks you over. Lorelei.
It's Noel.
Noel. Well, can't say I was expecting you to walk up like this, but honestly, it makes things a little easier. She will extend a hand. Sandy.
Sandy. Yeah, sure, I'll take their hand.
Well, Miss Noelle, you gave Miss Amelia a bit of a fright, if you don't mind me saying so.
Yeah, she did the same to me.
Yeah, no, you be honest, I never seen anyone flip quite that fast. I mean, you dead ring it in seconds. I mean, I genuinely, just from one artist to another, impressed. Truly, good work.
I had to be that fast. She would get mad if I was any slower.
Yeah, she's a bit touchy, isn't she?
She doesn't want anything to fall apart.
Yeah, you sound like the old kid. Well, Miss Noel, I suppose you must know then, I was out looking for you. Not sure how you knew that. Color me intrigued. But that's not why I'm here.
Chokes on her sandwich. No, she doesn't.
No. Honestly, I'm just trying to put the old girl's nerves at ease. I mean, like I said, you scared the bejesus out of her. And she's thinking, oh, she's here to ruin me day and all this. And I'm like, she was just as scared to see you as she was at her. So I'm doing due diligence. That's all this is, really. I just wanted to confirm, right? It's a coincidence you're here, right? Like, you being in town, her being in town, unrelated. Right?
I've been here for a while, so I was more worried about the opposite, to be honest.
That's funny. Well, it's reassuring. I'm sure she'll appreciate hearing that. In the interest of full diligence, I suppose, I'm going to be nosy. What brings you to Freeport, lass?
You heard the answer to that question.
Right, but like really?
I mean, that certainly is genuinely why I'm on the coast. But Freeport's just a convenient place to be. That's where the most stuff is here.
I can quote you on that now, right?
Why do you work for her? You realize how awful this is?
I mean, I'm sure it's a little awkward, but like, it's a job. And you left. Vacancy was open,
Did she ever
and
tell you why I left?
I mean, I'm sure she didn't tell me why. Sounds like things honestly ended on pretty bad blood. But, you know, it's not a bad gig, truth be told.
Also, you're aware it wasn't a job for me, right? She was pretending to care about me for a long time. She was manipulating me.
Mm-hmm.
I assume you're
Shut
getting
up.
paid.
Yeah, no, we work things out.
Yeah, I didn't really get that.
I mean, I saw your digs. Nice place.
Ill-gotten gains.
It's just gains, mate. I suppose that's probably why you left.
There's a lot of reasons, but yes, that was definitely one of them.
Sure. Yeah. Well, not that this hasn't been a fortuitous meeting, but I won't lie to you. I was really just coming out here to check some boxes. Wasn't planning to make this a whole thing. So, if you'll excuse me, she'll kind of finish her beer off. I have good news to report, and a job to get back to. So, Miss Noel, pleasure meeting with you, and take her easy.
Lauren will give a nod to Noelle a few minutes later as she's leaving, but she's gonna go follow and listen to the conversation she has.
I will say before whoever they are goes, I'll say, you forgot to do the dimples on the cheeks.
Hmm?
That's Lorelei.
Temples. She never mentioned temples.
I don't think she cared enough to pay attention to something like that.
Huh. Now I know. And she'll just give you kind of a smirk and a nod and make for the door. Coins left on the table or counter.
Yeah. I'll meet Lauren's gaze and share a nod back.
I still have pass without trace, right?
I mean, for your second casting of it, yes.
Yes. Okay,
Yes.
then I'll wait like a few minutes and then follow.
All right. Give me another stealth check.
Okay. Oh, I'm just rolling pretty decent. It was a 13 plus 10 plus 2, so 25. I failed.
You might have, maybe. We'll see.
Would you like to use my inspiration?
I have inspiration. Actually, no. I'll use my inspiration. Yeah, I'll.
The friendly inspiration PSA.
Okay, so that was much better. Well, I guess it was a little better. It was a 17. Yeah, it's a 29.
29.
Yeah.
All right.
That was so exciting.
I was like, that's close. I think that might be. No, 29 is not going to be good. So you will continue to follow and make your way back to the chateau where you see her head inside and begin making your way upstairs.
Cool. When we get closer, I'll duck into an alley, turn into a spider, and go back to what I was doing.
Sure. Creeping outside the window again. At this point, it looks like Amelia has already changed into a nightgown, and you can see that there is now Anne in the hotel room, who is also changed into pajamas, and they are not engaging. She is in the kitchen with a bottle and a small tumbler, just kind of crossed arms, glass in hand, kind of just nervously leaned up against the counter, while the man is just sort of forlornly sitting on the couch with a book, occasionally glancing over at the woman. And eventually there is at the door, and you see Amelia jump, set the glass down, head over, open it, and you see the sort of ratty little figure walk back inside, and without even skipping a beat, her face just shifts to that of Lorelei with dimples. And Amelia just like slams the door closed, and she says, "I told you when you approach here, you change before." She's like, "Would you relax? There's nobody in the fucking hallway. Look, found her. Wasn't hard. She's got nothing to do with any of this. She's not here for you. She's got her own shit going on here in Freeport. She's been here for a while, all right?" And Amelia's like, "How did you find all of this out in 2 hours?" And Sandy, again, big shit-eating grin, arms wide. The best. Now, you'll excuse me, it is getting late, and I do think we've got an important meeting in the morning, if I'm not mistaken. I would like to get some sleep before then. So, pardon me, Mum. And she'll just kind of push her way past Amelia into the bedroom. And you just see Amelia take a sharp all the tension just kind of deflates out of her. Martin, the man, you would kind of stands up and makes his way over to her, very tentatively reaches out a hand, and she just slaps it away and turns towards the bedroom. You see him just kind of sigh and slump back onto the couch and resume reading. Yeah.
All right, Lauren will go back to the alleyway, turn into herself. It's not like 9 o'clock, is it?
It's past sunset. It's like probably like 8:30.
Perfect. So she'll turn into herself and bop out of there.
Sure.
Before said gods find her.
Yeah, the guards are not like outside the building right now.
Yeah.
Presumably they're doing their jobs.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get out of there and you're scot-free.
Cool.
As far as you know.
I probably would assume Noelle went back to the Presidium, so she'll just
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
go back there.
Meet
Unless
back there.
Noelle said to meet her somewhere.
I think heading towards the proscenium is probably fine. That makes sense.
Okay. Then I'll go to the Presidium and tell Noelle everything that happened. And about the important meeting.
Thank you very much, Lauren, for helping with this.
Mm-hmm.
I know I didn't really explain much, but I imagine you'd be able to pick up on bits and pieces.
Yeah, but you don't have to tell me unless you want to. So. Whenever you want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm not here to pray.
What do you think I should do? I'm sure we could fuck up their meeting, but what does that accomplish?
Yeah, I think at this point, like, if you don't want anything to do with it, then leave it be.
That's like the opposite of what Burberry said, which feels backwards.
Though I do hate your mother, so that's a new thing. So if you ever want help with that,
That's two of it. I will be sure to get in touch with you, Lauren, if I ever feel like some retribution against Amelia.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
You're welcome.
We'll get this lost frog thing figured out, by the way.
Oh shit! She's like, I gotta go.
Toast in the mouth.
I'm
She runs it. Keep. I'm late. Oh shit.
All right. Yeah. It is 9:20, so we want to take our break here.
Sure.
As we are almost done with this 1 day of downtime, which I.
Yup. You were really hopeful about it being over, and I was like, oh.
Look, I'm just saying it now. If this is not the last day of downtime, we're committing to this fucking Amelia thing. That's the next fucking adventure. I'm gonna shit what y'all say.
I feel like we might be committing to it.
We'll see. But yeah, let's be back in like 10 minutes.
All right,
9:30.
switching break. Alright, switch the stream back on. We're good.
Sound off. All right. So we left off as Lauren was going to go find Alexi, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you go to the Green Keep. It is much quieter now in the evening. Not much activity inside, but you are let in by the doorman as a fellow warden. And yeah, you know where Alexi's quarters are, so you can make your way up there, give him a knock, and before long, Lauren, there you are. Please come in. And you'll find him just sitting at his desk. He's got a drink sitting out.
Okay.
And he is just kind of like poring over papers right now. So, meeting ran long, but we're done for today. How was your past 6 hours?
Pretty eventful, honestly.
It didn't get worse, did it?
No, God, no. Oh, no. I was helping a friend.
Oh, God, okay. You genuinely scared me there for a second.
Oh, I did get like 13 thingies because I'm getting these amulets for everybody in the village.
Oh. Okay, that's probably wise. Definitely don't go back there without yours.
Yeah, no. I was already wearing it when I went there.
Good. So he contacted you?
Mm-hmm.
And he just said he can find you if he wants to.
Yes. Pretty much. Or he said he had other means of finding me. So whatever that means.
I mean, he has a cult, so I suppose they could find you, but that...
I don't feel like that's what he meant.
I think you're probably right. I mean, it sounds as though he may have been attempting to make some show of force, even though apparently his efforts so far have not been fruitful.
Yeah.
But that could be subject to change.
I'll be fine, Alexi. No biggie. We took down 2 pirate lords.
Sure.
What's another?
But they were not necessarily practiced arcanists of any kind. They're trouble, but not this kind of trouble. If I were in his position, I'd be racking my brain what I would be doing to try and find you or me.
Yeah, I realized I probably shouldn't have used your name. And you
I
down.
can conceal myself well enough. I shall be all right. Don't worry.
I did mean to tell you not to use my name, but that's fine. I think the rest of my friends are fine because Varys only knows them as what like our fake names were.
Sure.
So.
And I mean, to be fair, most of you were pretty covered. I mean, your hobgoblin friend, I don't imagine took that armor off.
Noelle didn't look like herself.
No.
Only other person would be John.
That, I think, could be a potential problem. He might need one of those little... I mean, I don't have much of an update, honestly. Council is not biting on this cult's problem. They'd rather leave it to the EA and focus on Freeport and this morphine thing.
Oh, which one?
The drug thing. Remember you and your buddies took down that
Mhm.
drug wizard back in
I'm pretty
Summer,
sure
right?
he had the same stuff similar to Lasharok. And I'm pretty sure Lasharok's like a warlock.
Mm,
Because I'm pretty sure that's what.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily narrow down what he's capable of.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, we don't really have a lot of support right now on this cult situation. So honestly, I feel like the Gatewatch is the people to go to for this,
But
right?
nobody trusts them and they don't have enough numbers, so
They can't send anybody.
probably not.
They got the two new guys that are the little guy and the white-haired kid.
Yeah, I know they're about to go on their own kind of different thing, so not really. Plus, I love them, but I don't know if they would take on Lasharok. Because I can beat their ass, so.
I mean, I'm not saying send them after Shirog necessarily, but just
But Shirog's really the only, like, known cult member that's free at the moment.
sure. I intend to talk to Gideon about this as soon as I'm able. Try and just find something to move on. You know, I don't feel comfortable just sitting on this. So, I mean, I can't even think straight. Does this strike you as something that we should be moving on like now? I mean, you've talked to them the most.
So, to be fair, I was going to get more information, and Varys was going to take me to Lasharog, but then Ranzel was like, oh, let's beat them to the Leviathan. So, before Ranzel did that, I did have an in with Lasharog to get more information.
But Varys is now in prison,
Mm-hmm.
so that's closed.
She'll shrug. Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Shut that right down.
That's not an option.
Are you sure?
He is scrutinizing the shit out of you right now.
What? I'm just saying.
I don't think that's
I-
remotely safe or smart play. Maybe you get an answer, but then how do you get out? Right?
I have my ways.
I'm sure he does too.
I'm pretty nifty. I'm like built for this type of thing, man.
I admire your confidence, but God, it is going to get you killed someday.
No. Never. I haven't died yet. And I've done some really dumb shit lately. I mean, we killed 2 pirate lords. There was a fear-eating monster that we killed on Monty Bond. Like, you know.
Just keep me in the loop, please, with whatever you decide to do.
Is that giving me an okay, Alexi?
No,
Okay.
that's not an okay. But the more in communication we are, the more we're able to help each other. And I don't, again, I cannot stress enough how much I hate the idea of you trying to get in with them. That is such a dangerous idea.
But it could work.
He just pinching his fingers. Slim likelihood of that working.
But I am a very charismatic person. People love me. I could do it. That's all I'm saying. I have confidence in myself, and if you have confidence in yourself, you can do a lot more than you think you could. Plus, I know I have really good stuff for this type of thing, too. So.
Please just let me know before you make any big moves.
See,
I know I can't stop you, but like,
I'll let you know after. How about that? So then you can't stop me.
So you say you'll let me know after, but you get caught, and then I never find out what happened, and then that's it, and that's where it ends. That's what concerns me.
Maybe I should get a sending stone so I can talk to you easier.
It's not a bad idea.
But if you want to, because I just dropped a fuck ton of money on a bunch of fucking amulets.
That's
okay.
not unfair, honestly. We probably should have gotten one a while ago. And we do have all that Ranzel money now, so we could.
No, I don't.
Out of character, just a tiny aside for Lauren. You might want to make sure that your sending stones look different.
They do.
They all do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that'd be really funny.
Gerald's is a skull. Noelle's is like a little flower music thing. Lyre. Alexi, I'll just get request a big butt. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. That was out of character.
If Alexi could hear
Look,
that.
I never know with you, and that would be very in character for her to do.
Alexi will say he'll handle sending stones.
Okay. I'm just saying it could work, Alexi. That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying if it doesn't, you're done. Just be safe.
No.
And keep me informed, please. Okay. Wish I had more to say. I don't.
So if I did something really dumb, would you want to know before or after I did it?
Before.
Are you sure? What if you tried to stop me?
How dumb are we talking?
I think he knows.
Yeah, I think you know.
He's just shaking his head.
So would you try to stop me?
Don't do it, Lauren.
Would you try to stop me? Can I roll insight on him right now? Is that the face of a man that would try to stop the Lord?
No. Those are different questions, Chani. You see, that is this the face of a man who would try to stop a Lauren, or the face of a man who can stop a Lauren?
That's true. 15 plus 6, 21.
Both.
What?
The answer to that
both.
is both.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not planning on doing that, Alex.
It sure is, isn't it?
It's so great.
He is just staring daggers at you right now.
This has been a fruitful conversation. Sure, you had a really bad day today, so I'm gonna go.
Are you turning in early?
Well, I do have. I'm going with Sarah tomorrow to go to the village to drop off some amulets
Sure.
to my mom.
All right. Well, like I said, if anything changes with the cult thing, tell me, please. All right. Take it easy.
She is not making eye contact, and she is.
He is just fucking hand on his fucking head, taking a drink as you leave, just knocking it out. So, 23rd comes and goes.
Right.
Unless-
I know what I'm gonna do. I want to. First, I'd like to get everyone together, the whole Lost Emeralds, at the Presidium.
Okay.
It'd be late this night, probably.
John's in Helmsford.
Okay. Everybody put John. Is John in Helmsford right now?
He can have come back for a couple of days. I think the gloves are going to be ready in the next couple of days, right?
The gloves are going to be ready at the end of the month. So you've got a couple more weeks.
Well, he could have just come back to say hi.
For convenience
Sure.
sake, we'll say John's
All right.
visit.
All right. For convenience sake. Hey.
Okay. So I'll gather everyone together. It's late this same night that Aloran did her like snooping on Amelia and stuff like that. Actually, before I gather everyone, I would cast sending to Amelia.
Okay.
Just to see if this is even if this is just a non-starter, then whatever. Nell's gonna say, in an hour, I'm gonna be at the bar of the chateau. We should talk. Bring Martin and Lorelei, so I know it's you. That's it.
Damn. Okay. I think the reply you get is pretty short. You're hardly in any position to be making demands. If you have something to say, say it. You're clearly capable.
I think that was my last sending of the day.
That's funny.
Well,
Do you need another one?
Nah, don't give the bitch what she wants. Make her come to you.
Oh, I just I could. Anyway.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know what you're saying, but I'm also like, fuck this bitch. Don't give her what she wants.
Joke's on you. I'm not capable.
Well, okay. I'm gonna assume curiosity is gonna get the best of her. And if not, then I guess I have Burberry sendings too if I need them. But I still would gather everyone together.
okay.
And just say, well, it's been a bit since we've all been in the same room. John and Barnaby, you're sort of a little out of the loop on this one, but something kind of unpleasant happened today. My mother showed up in town, who I don't super get along with. Boy, I'm not even sure how much to go into. You all have been very respectful and very patient when it comes to me talking about anything with my past. And I very much appreciate that. But I do feel like maybe it's getting to a point where things are going to get a little weird if I don't. So I'm going to give you as truncated of a version of it as I possibly can. Not because I'm trying to hide anything, but because there's a lot. Basically, like John, I was adopted. And, I was an orphan. I got adopted at age 8. And it was to a woman and a man, humans named Amelia and Martin. The first year of that experience was not terribly unpleasant. They both cared about me. Martin did a lot of work to keep the family afloat, but we were pretty poor. And eventually, there came a day where Martin, who basically did a lot of physical labor, since he didn't really have a ton of skills outside of that, he got hurt. Nothing terribly serious, but it was the kind of damage you take after a lifetime of hard work and manual labor. It wasn't things that something could like cure wounds could fix. Joint issues, back issues. He kind of couldn't really bring in money anymore. And we were poor. So at a certain point, when we were going to start running out of food, little 9-year-old me was coerced by my mother into stealing a few things here and there, pretending to be like the butcher's daughter or the son of the general store owner, and just go in, take some coins or take some food or whatever we needed to get by that week for the family. And I was okay to do it because we needed it to survive. My dad had to recover, couldn't really work. And it was really easy for me, being a changeling and all. But we never stopped. She never stopped asking for more favors, more stuff to do, more things to steal. And she was always asking for just one more thing. Eventually it started getting to a point where I had multiple personas, multiple jobs. This would have been maybe a few years later. She was making sure that I would take on these jobs under different guises, different names, none that could ever link back to us, and at the end of every shift I would steal a few gold coins or steal a little something from the shop. And it got complicated. I almost got caught a lot. But I never did. And it was around this time where Amelia decided that even when I was by myself in the house, it was unsafe for me to present as a changeling anymore. So I had to be Lorelei. I'll shift my form into Lorelei, which you guys have seen once. It was the form I took when we did the Theron's Hold Willem stuff. Which is just basically Noelle as a human with sort of this blonde hair. And this is who I was for about 8 years, maybe 9. And I'm not sure exactly when the transition point happened in my mind. Early on, I knew I was helping the family to get out of poverty, to move to a nicer place. But even when I knew it was bad, when I didn't want to keep doing it, I still did it. Maybe because it was easy or habit, or I didn't want to incur Amelia's wrath. So I kept doing it. And things got vastly more complicated when I started becoming connected, getting various jobs under nobles and people of power and wealth, and Amelia was very happy about that. And it was never hard, because I could always just be whoever they trusted the most. It's frighteningly easy, to be honest. If you look like someone trustworthy, people will tell you anything. Amelia was making connections and friends, and eventually things just got more and more complicated. I hesitate to go into detail, but a lot of scams, a lot of mistrust we sowed in families and friends and neighborhoods. Literally dozens, probably hundreds of people whose lives we damaged doing what we did for years. And I was at the center of it all. If I'm being perfectly honest with you guys, I'm probably the most successful criminal in the history of Aelia.
Gotta take you down.
I would not be surprised.
I'm just
No need to brag about it.
Out of character. Pete, you can show them the drawing that you did
Which one?
for Lorelei.
Oh yeah. I'll post that after the story, but
I think I've seen this one.
it was in the story I sent you. So anyway, that all continued for a long time, like I said. And tensions got pretty high between me and Amelia. At a certain point, every time she wanted something from me, it was an argument. And I would always acquiesce at a certain point. But eventually, she did something truly, truly terrible. Not that the things she did before weren't awful, but I don't even know how much I want to go into. Do you all remember when John asked me if I had ever left someone completely destitute? Well, the answer is yes. There was a family, the Rousseau family, who were very wealthy philanthropists in Alia. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but wait, let me back up. Amelia made connections with this family. She was good friends with this man, Mr. Rousseau. And he was old and sick. And he knew it. His family knew it. He was not long for this world. He was very wealthy, and he was very giving. He donated a lot of his money to charity. A very nice man. And Amelia wanted everything from him. It's a complicated thing to explain, but Amelia crafted a plan to knock him unconscious, have me go to the bank in his place, and redirect his funds that he was going to give upon his death into an anonymous account that she owned, under the guise of it being for charity. She wrote me into it, under the threat of destroying everything we had worked for and sending everyone to prison. She essentially forced my hand in the last way she could. So I went along with it. But turns out when she knocked out Mr. Rousseau, she killed him. So I had to be Rousseau. I had to go to his family and look them in the eyes and pretend to be him for a day. And tell them that I'd see them in the morning, tell them that I loved them. And it was the worst night of my entire life. And during that night, when I was definitely not sleeping, we swapped in his dead body so that his family would think that he'd passed away in his sleep. And I snuck out. I returned home. And it worked. They got away with it. And about, I will say, after that day, Amelia never asked me for anything after that day. But that was when I was about 17 or 18 years old. Right towards the end of my stay at the Cordemanche Manor. Anyway, a lot of time passed, maybe almost a year. And Amelia was becoming very spendy in a way that seemed strange. Her plan had worked to redirect a portion of Rousseau's funds to her own personal account, obviously. But she had not redirected as much as I assumed she would. I wish I had looked over the documents she'd handed me more closely. But instead of the normal amount that he was going to donate to charity upon his death, she redirected 95% of this man's funds to her own account. And the headlines of the papers were so happy that such a generous philanthropist would give away 95% of his wealth upon his death to charity, to charities of Aelia. But obviously never got to them. They never saw it, and there's no way to check on something like that. It was a dying man's wish given to an anonymous account. And the family, having had a vast majority of their wealth stripped from them, probably 15, maybe 20 different people of this man's extended family who are all members of the community in their own right, began to fracture because everything that they were built on just got pulled out from under them. Rousseau's fortune probably propping a lot of them up, keeping them going. I found more newspaper headlines later when I went to the library talking about these various family members going missing, going broke. One of them was found dead in an alley, drunk off his mind. The whole family fell apart. We did that, me and Amelia. And when I found out what happened to them, I couldn't stand it anymore. And I confronted her, and I told her that I had to go to the guard. I had to tell them, because this was just too far. And when I brought it up to her, she said if I ever breathed a word of it to anyone, if I ever called her out, she would do everything in her power to implicate me in everything that we'd ever done. And having been there for all of it, having acquiesced and done as was asked of me for 10 years, I knew she could. It wasn't a bluff. So I just left. I stole everything from her personal vault, so I had a little bit of gold. And I left and just never wanted to go back to Aelia. And I hoped that me and Amelia would just have this mutually assured destruction ceasefire in the background forever. If she ever tried to go to the guard and tell them what I had done, then I would be able to implicate her, and vice versa. So as long as neither of us interacted with the other and we didn't talk about it, we didn't address it, we didn't bring it up, and we just left each other to our own devices forever, then it could just be in the past. Anyway, from there, most of you already know, I got a job for a traveling noble businessman who worked on the peripheries of Aelia, but mostly did a lot of traveling. I spent 7 years doing that. I met Jade while I was there, and eventually, when I saved up enough money, I just wanted to get as far away from Aelia as possible. I've done a lot of really awful stuff. Truly awful. I didn't want to talk about it with you guys because I don't know if I would be able to keep hanging out with someone like me if I knew all this. And I never really redeemed myself either. I just ran. The end.
That is a lot to process.
Yeah.
As Barnaby cocks his gun.
Gotta take
A criminal, huh?
You get crabby hands at your shins and 2 pairs of arms reaching up.
That's the least deserved hug ever.
Well, I believe that is for the giver of the hug to their side and not the receiver.
Thank you, Burberry.
I mean, unless I misunderstood,
Tiny hugs.
it started out of necessity and grew into something almost beyond your control.
Yeah, I don't think that's really. You might blame yourself for it, but I'm not sure if that's really all your fault.
It's certainly not all my
'Cause, I mean-
fault.
To be fair, she started at a really young age and she just kept asking. And I feel like, given like where you were in life at that stage, like that was just her taking what she knew she could get, type of thing, from you.
Yeah, it's taken me a long time to realize that that wasn't me. Not all of it, at least. Obviously, I've still got quite a knack for lying to people.
It's
Yeah.
okay. I'm good at it too sometimes.
If I hadn't had Brahm to correct me, I don't even want to think how I would have been. So I think it's just unfair of you to blame yourself unduly, since it seems like it had a lot more to do with people in power over you than you yourself.
I mean, you were a child, so.
Yeah. I think part of me just wishes that I'd had the strength to call it out before it got out of hand, but that's, what ifs are never a healthy thing to go down. Anyway, if you all are willing to help me, I want to try and meet with Amelia tonight. I don't intend to necessarily break our ceasefire because, frankly, I don't think she would ever let me get away with all of this. I think everything still stands as it was with her. But I like it here. And I like all of you. So I'm gonna tell her to go away. And if she doesn't want to listen, well, then things get complicated. But if she acquiesces and stands by the mutually assured destruction we silently agreed upon, if she leaves and lets the Emerald Coast be, then I'll let her go. The last thing I want is Amelia funding railways and coming out here for business meetings.
Yeah. I will say 2 of her guards totally saw me as like regular. So.
I don't
I
think
mean,
it matters that much.
instead of a mutually assured destruction situation, wouldn't. And I understand this might be a little biased in consideration of my own situation, but wouldn't you want to kind of make her disappear?
You mean like kill her?
Doesn't have to be dead.
Feared of the Leviathan.
Yeah, give him to Washerog. I guess Washerog would love a sacrifice. That's not me. Oh, sorry.
But I mean, just having this constant threat of everything you've built up being ruined, I don't know. Wouldn't you want to get out from under that?
Yeah. It's you're 100% right. I would. It sucks that this has to be. This is the way things are, but I don't know if I'm comfortable with killing her.
And that's what you have friends for now.
Lauren, friends
Yes.
aren't necessarily for killing people. I mean, they
That might just
can
be our group.
be, but that's not what most friends are intended for in their original setting.
I feel like we're a different type of friend. We just killed like a bunch of pirate lords together, so.
That was defensive. That's different.
Yeah, but we were kind of planning on doing that anyways. Actually, no, don't say that out loud.
Yeah, honestly, it all just comes down to I don't know if I'm ready to have her be a mortal enemy like that.
Okay. Did you say you wanted us to go with you to go talk
Just
to her?
as support at the very least. I already told her that I was going to be at the bar in an hour.
Okay. Yeah, Lauren will go with you. So. But I swear to God, if two guys from area start hitting on me, please help me get out of that situation.
Oh, that's really easy. I'll just start hitting on them and giving them my flashiest smile.
Perfect, thank you.
With all of the teeth.
Yes. Have you ever had biting before? It's actually quite nice.
Did you know that your flesh tastes like chicken?
Chicken.
Or if you're really spicy, sardines.
I don't know if they're going to let you bring a gun in Barnaby. If you did want to come.
Oh, he went to go check on his
Oh,
dogs.
well. I sure hope they do. So yeah, that's where I would go next.
All right. I think we're all probably going to go with her.
All right.
Might be good if we didn't go so, openly, because if we do plan on doing something after that, it might not be wise to show her all the players on the field.
We could filter in.
Yeah, I could go separately so then the guards hit on me. They just don't think I'm involved.
Lauren, how would you feel about having a date?
I'd love it, Barbarian. Say less.
I can't.
Well, say more.
That I can do.
Yeah, let's go.
I'll let Burr take the lead on this one then. Burr just does an elaborate and it's really weird watching Burberry do an elaborate bow because the whole thing kind of teeters.
Lauren will do a fake curtsy because she doesn't have enough effort to actually curtsy.
And then offers you an elbow.
She'll take it and be like, well, make sure that I miss Noel. I have a hot date.
Oh, thank you.
This is going to go great.
Yes, no, this won't get out of hand at all.
Not at all, sweetie, not at all.
It's fine. No, it's fine. It actually is fine. It might get out of hand, but it will get it out of hand at exactly 5 feet because I'm not walking anywhere. Why do you take the fun out of everything?
So, Alorna will be going first. John, what's your game plan?
I don't know. I'm pretty conspicuous. You want me inside or outside?
John does not have clothes.
Like a Lauren, but a Lauren's going.
I mean,
I do not.
me and Jade were eating there, and she was just in like some traveling armor. I don't know if it's like a dress code or if it's just like it's sort of just people expect to look nice when they go there.
I will say, when you guys ate there, it was like lunch, and it was definitely a little less formal looking.
Okay.
I think
When Lauren checked in for dinner, it was a lot more dressed up.
Let's go get John a tailored suit.
That might take more than an hour.
Short notice. Yeah.
All right, Lauren's gonna
It's magic. They can make shit really
We could probably
fast.
get you a big T-shirt.
A big tuxedo T-shirt.
Lauren will change into her opera outfit.
We will put in the bare minimum of effort to get John a shirt.
Okay. I love the idea. You get him like an extra large like tuxedo tee, and it is like just the tightest like Chippendales looking top on him. Like it's about to fucking pop off. But it really accentuates his muscles. So there's that. So John, inside outside, what is the play with him?
He certainly can go inside with the shirt.
I think Barnaby should just take watch outside with his gun.
That might be the best way to do it. We got Rory's message if we need to get Barnaby inside.
Sure.
Yeah.
What if we had Barnaby watching the front entrance and John watching the back?
Sure. If there is a back entrance, I guess there probably is.
I assume there's probably a back entrance.
Okay, that works for me. If that's what you guys want.
Okay. So, John and Barnaby making for the rear of the hotel, while Lauren and Burberry go get themselves a table at the chateau.
I thought Barnaby was watching the
Barnaby's
front.
door.
Barnaby's in front, sorry. And John's watching
He's-
that.
He's got some kind of area where he can pop up his gun.
Sure.
He's feigning a smoke break.
Yeah, I will say, Barnaby just chilling out in like full plate with a gun, just chilling like on a street corner. Definitely probably draws a few stares, loitering like that. And he probably gets a couple of like sheriff's deputies kind of check in with him at some point during the night. It's like, everything okay there, sir? All right, you just mind yours. But he stands vigil until David says otherwise. Clark taking John around the back of the building. The hotel has most of this block to itself, but there is like a small sort of shopping strip on the other side of the block. So there's a narrow alleyway where you can see that there is like a kitchen entrance and like a loading dock where a wagon could feasibly like back up and unload. Posting up in this alleyway, I will say there's not a ton of activity at this hour, although you do see the occasional cook kind of step out and take a smoke break. But I will keep you posted as things develop, if they should. And Burberry and Lauren heading into the chateau is bumping. It's a busy night.
Do I see the guards?
As you step into the restaurant, I will say you can see that there is a wait. So you're like seated with like 4 other groups ahead of you, and the dining room is just packed. But like looking around, you do actually catch sight of the guards. They are currently sort of seated, not seated. They're sort of standing near the bar, and you can see them hands on their shields. They have their helmets on, and they're currently like on alert. And I think you get the sense they look a little irritated. But you can see maybe like a few seats down from where they're standing watch. A blonde woman in a blue dress is sitting alone on a bar stool, just kind of swirling a cherry and a drink and kind of looking around.
Oh yeah, I would go in roughly within the 1 hour I gave her.
Yeah. By the time you get in there, I think Burberry and Lauren are like next in line to be seated, so they're still sitting in front of the host. But you can see across the dining room. Well, Lauren will be able to point them out. You can see two alien guards standing nearby Lorelei, who has ordered a second cherry float.
Okay. My plan was just to go up to the bar.
Sure. Okay. So head over to the bar. I think in pretty short order, Lorelei will kind of glance down and see. Hey, there you are. And she'll get up from her seat and kind of sidle over to where you're standing and just kind of lean over. So, you said that you had something you wanted to talk to Emilia about?
Yeah, where is she?
Well, she did not want to come downstairs, but I said I would take care of it, as I do. So, what is this thing you wanted to talk about?
I'm here to talk to Emilia. She's welcome not to come down, but it's going to make things more complicated.
How do you mean more complicated?
I guess you'll find out.
Sorry, that is not very promising.
Look, I genuinely just want to have a 15-minute chat with the woman who raised me for 10 years. She could make the time to come down and talk. All right?
I'm sure she could if she wanted to, but I don't know what else to tell you. She was very spooked by your message. And I won't lie, from the sound of it, it sounds a little more than just we both happen to be in Freeport, okay, moving on with our lives, you know? This sounds a little bit more, maybe I am not moving on with my life. Am I incorrect in this assumption?
Well, I have been moving on with my life. And it's been great.
Okay.
Because Emilia hasn't been in it. But now she's in it again. And it sounds like she wants to be making moves on the Emerald Coast. So we need to talk about that.
There's like a very like knowing kind of look, and again, you see that kind of wry smile work its way through the Lorelei disguise, and the eyes kind of light up a bit. And she leans forward across the bar. She says, "Oh, you are staking a claim here. Oh, that's different. Ooh." And like you can hear the excitement in her voice. Okay. So you are saying the coast is yours, and if Miss Emilia wants to do business here, she has to go through you? Like, what is the play here? Now I'm really curious.
I'd love to talk to her about it.
I mean, you're welcome to keep messaging her. I tried to convince her there was nothing to worry about. Genuinely, you know, I would like this all to be much smoother than it has been these past 12 hours. She's not pleasant, but for the most part, she is, you know, peaceable enough to work with. But this has her all bothered.
Why is she suddenly so scared of me?
I mean,
This
you
is
are
the
the one
opposite of how she used to be.
Look, I don't know the whole story with your family. I am not going to pretend I am a part of this any more than I am at present, you know? But It seems to me that you are both concerned about the same thing, and it seems as though the concerns were unfounded. So, you are not here for her, she's not here for you, nobody is here for anybody. Unless I'm mistaken, or misunderstood you.
Oh my god, I just want to talk to her.
If I had a way to convince her to come down, I mean, she would be here, right?
Can I come up?
Big, like, very expressive grimace out of her. Not sure she's going to like that very much, but
Would you like that better?
I suppose I could ask. Give you a moment. And you'll see her sort of lean off the bar, kind of walk over to those two guards who are watching this interaction very intently. And she just kind of says something quietly to them before she starts walking out towards the lobby. And the two guards sort of just like nod and follow. And she'll walk right past you and Burberry, not paying any mind, and out into the lobby and up
Guards pay her
the
mind?
stairs.
Just like hold the menu.
Yeah, she's just like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
They see
No,
her.
I think one of them like double takes for a moment. He's like, "Wait, does that?" But they keep walking, and like he doesn't get a long enough chance to really like scrutinize you before he's out of the room and still following. And yeah, so she's out of sight, and you are left in the restaurant. At which point, I think the host would finally come back to you and Burberry and be like, "Your table's ready."
Oh, thank goodness, Bobo. Our table's finally ready. We can partake in delicious cuisine.
Mm.
I feel like you see like Burberry's head like the
What the fuck?
Of course, darling, let us be off.
Oh, yes, please.
The host is wildly unamused. He just takes you to your table and just leaves the menus there without a word. Just walks back to the front.
Oh, wait, I'd like to
I wanted wine, good sir. Where's my wine?
Eventually, the table's waiter will actually come
I want
to
to wine and dine.
get your drinks and everything. It's probably about 10 minutes before Lorelei returns with her little escort. And they sort of return to their same spot on the side of the bar. And she will just kind of walk right up to you, Noelle. And she'll say, "So, she's amicable. However, she has requested precautions be taken. So if you would follow me, please. She suggests that I conduct a search for any potential liabilities. Is this agreeable?"
Sure, whatever.
Oh, dear Burberry, I must use the restroom. I
try not to fall in this time.
think I'm going to fall in this time. It's going to be a bad one. Don't wait for me.
This is what happens when we buy cheap lunch.
Oh no, how could we? And she'll go to the bathroom and pass without a trace one more time for the day. Well, and actually no, because I still have 3rd level spells.
Sure.
So she'll pass without a trace, turn into a spider, and she is going to
Follow Noelle
follow
and
Noelle.
these two. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Give me a stealth check. And how closely are you following?
I feel like since it's kind of busy, she'll be a little closer, and she'll be on the ceiling
Oh.
to not be seen.
Okay.
She doesn't want to get squished. So 12
Sure.
plus 2. Oh, wait, what's a spider stuff?
I think it's like +2.
+2 dex, I think.
I think it's a +2.
I'm just gonna.
Although spiders might actually have a stealth bonus.
Yeah, I think they have a stealth bonus. That's what I might be able to say.
I don't know, but yeah, you could check.
Stealth +4. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So 26.
26. Okay. So, as Lorelei leads you out into the lobby, Aloran sneakily as a spider creeping along the ceiling, following you. She and the guards are just walking briskly down the lobby and then up the stairs to sort of the first level of the hotel above, ground floor. And there's a lift, and the bellhop there just kind of calls it down. It hits with a nice jingle, and she will just gesture to the lift and step inside. Do you follow?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Lauren, are you following into the lift?
Yes. I think Aloran at one point, whenever she's done with the search, she'll crawl onto Noelle.
Out of the question, did Noelle have to pass us to get to the door?
Yeah, to leave the restaurant.
Burberry's gonna brush up against her and cast Warding Bond.
No, baby. No.
Warding bond.
All right. So any damage you take while the target is within 60 feet of you will be split with Burberry.
I don't think we're going to be within 60 feet, Burberry.
I mean, if it's on the upper floor and buildings aren't usually that big, I mean, 60 feet is like 6 bedrooms.
If you're the target becomes separated by more than 60 feet, the spell will end. Just a heads up.
No, I know, but like my house isn't even 60 feet wide. Like,
right, but you would. I don't know if Burberry would know because she's going to the 6th floor. So.
Oh, I would not. So
So
Technically, Aloran knew that.
Aloran knows.
Yeah. And I probably would have shared information with
All right.
the group.
Well, I guess after they'll head up, I'll go hang out on the 2nd floor.
Just wander the hall. Where is my room?
Just follow, just being like, I hope this.
Oh no, I remember I'm rife with money. I can fully just rent a room.
Oh, that's true. Just rent out the whole 2nd floor. No.
Okay.
Just remember the 2nd floor.
So, Noelle, Lorelei, the 2 guards step into the lift, and it begins to go up. Aloran, you were crawling into the lift?
Yes.
Right, okay. So, I will say, Lorelei, or no, god damn it, Noelle, you would notice, right as the gate is closing and one of the guards is punching in the button for the 6th floor, or turning the dial, you would see Lorelei's eyes dart down, and she'd kind of pull a foot back with that, as yeah, Aloran, you would see this from the opposite perspective, as she looks directly down at your spider form, and kind of steps away from it, but then just kind of rights herself and turns back to Noelle. Shall we? And she'll just kind of gesture arms up, and yeah. So she'll give you a quick pat down. Ooh, cool. So that was a nat 20.
Okay.
What do you have on your person?
Nothing. I don't know. I mean, what do I have on? You want me to read my inventory or what?
I mean, what are you taking into this meeting, I guess? What did you have with you when you came to this?
Honestly, I don't even think I would have had my weapons on me. It would have been weird.
Okay.
She probably would. I mean, she would 100% feel that whatever nice fancy clothing I have is an illusion over my armor, my glamour armor.
Sure.
I don't think I really have. There's nothing here that I really would have been able to bring in easily, no matter what.
Sure.
So I'm not sure what she would find that would be interesting, to be honest, other than that armor illusion.
I mean, she would be aware of anything you have on you at this point. Just she got good perception and she rolled a nat 20.
Okay.
So she is finding whatever's on you, and just she'll comment on just like, oh, this is nice. Oh, this is magic, very nice. But as soon as she's done, she just kind of like brushes her hands and folds them in front of her and just says, "Okay, well, I'm not worried."
Good.
At which point, Aloran, are you crawling in the well? Yeah. Okay.
Takes all of Noelle's strength not to shudder when she feels the spider crawl on her.
Can I do one tiny retcon because I didn't realize that this was a component necessary, but I would have bought it if I did.
Sure.
I will purchase everybody in the party a platinum ring.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
everybody has a platinum ring in there.
Sure.
Okay.
Thanks for the blame.
Yeah.
So as you feel that prickling sensation on your leg, you can see Lorelei's eyes just like wide, staring down, like below the hem of your skirt.
Oh, okay.
And
Aloran,
then she like looks at you like
Aloran will jump off.
you wouldn't know this. You're like crawling up into fucking her clothes. But she'll just look at you, Noel, and be like, "You've got something crawling up your leg."
I will react as though a spider is crawling up my leg and I'm suddenly aware.
Okay.
Ah! Brush it off.
Lauren's gonna try to go up. to the
Up higher?
ceiling. Yeah, she's gonna try to veil.
Oh, this is going to get very embarrassing.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Lorelei is like fucking like wide-eyed, like watching this Noel. She's like, "You're not getting it. It's getting
I
higher."
am genuinely trying to get her off of me.
I hopped off and I'm climbing up the elevator.
I thought you were still.
God, that was... I was like, you're crawling further up my leg?
I thought you were probably further up Noel.
No.
Okay. No, she's like, "Oh, good."
Thanks.
So you're crawling up the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. The lift probably passes you as you kind of like hop off of it onto the wall. So it's just like, "Oof, I hate spiders."
Oh wait, I'm not in the lift anymore?
Well, you're in the lift shaft.
Well, she couldn't
It's like-
stay
it's like
on
a
the
lift.
lift?
All those graded lifts from the
Okay,
fucking
then she'll hop
20s,
on a pole
right?
in the lift and then go to the ceiling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not trying.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that.
She's just trying to stay with me.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay with her.
Okay. So you hop off and kind of skitter to a corner and start crawling up the cage, basically.
Yeah.
And again, Noel, you just watch Lorelei just tracking this thing, just like, ugh.
Good eye
As
for
it crawls
spiders.
up. I am not a fan. And yeah, Aloran, you can just see like she is just fucking like just staring like directly at you with this just like look of disgust.
She brings her little.
Oh, back legs.
Yeah. She kind of cocks her head like. And as soon as the lift opens on the 6th floor, the guards step out. Lorelei follows, and she turns to wait for Noel.
Yeah.
So-
Sorry, one thing I'm realizing that we should clarify beforehand. Was there any indication that Lorelei could see magic items specifically? Like, was she commenting like, "Oh, your armor"? Well, I guess she would have known the armor, but
I mean,
like,
she noticed the armor.
the
for
armor
sure.
is more obvious. But like,
I'd say give me an insight check.
okay, that's a 20 total.
20 total. It's possible. You're not sure when she would have cast it, if it was a spell or if this is like an innate thing necessarily, but she did seem to linger on the magic that you had on you.
Okay, because I will say, technically, the one thing that would definitely be on Noelle that's really not obvious as magic is the Ring of Spell Story.
Yeah,
So,
I think
don't know if
she would have
lingered
lingered
on that.
No, she would have lingered on anything magical. I think you probably would have picked that up.
Okay.
So you kind of get the sense like, okay, she might be able to tell.
Okay.
Although it doesn't seem as though she recognized whether that was dangerous or not because she didn't take it.
Yeah.
So
Okay, just wanted to clarify that before we go any further, just in case it's relevant.
I also have a question. Can some people that detect magic, if someone's like in a spider form, could they detect that that's magic?
No, rules is written. I don't believe that's how that works.
Okay.
So, this posse of 4 heading down the hallway. Lauren, what are you doing?
I will hop off, and if Lorelei's not looking at me, I will follow.
Okay. So you kind of just wait for them to get some distance and then just follow.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
And I'll probably just camp outside like the room.
Okay. So you just kind of post up in the hall as these foursome reaches the corner door of this hallway. You can see there are 2 more alien guards posted outside. One of them will just knock on the door, and you will see the door open as 2 more guards who are standing inside are standing waiting. And Lorelei will gesture for you after you.
I'm going.
So she'll follow, and you step inside this luxurious corner suite. You've got a view down Market Street and up the waterfront. Beautiful panorama out the windows. And you will see pretty close at hand on the couch, there is Amelia, hands folded in her lap, just very stiff in her seat. And then in the kitchen, it sounds like preparing some manner of meal. Her pots and pans clanging is Martin. And like as soon as you kind of step into view, his head kind of like whips around, like, you know, the eyes go wide, you know, seeing you for the first time. And there is like a muddled expression on his face, like this mixture of like shock and some excitement, some sadness. It's just a whole journey on this man's face. But Amelia is steely, expressionless, and just stares at you.
I do think when Noelle sees Martin, there's a moment of, I don't know, just something, connection at least a little bit there, which he might pick up on.
There's like a faint smile on his face before Amelia like clears her throat, and he very quickly turns back to what he was doing. All right, so we're all here. We're all ready to talk, iron this out, and then we can go about our merry ways, right? Please, let's resolve this, shall we? Like adults. And Lorelei / Sandy will just kind of slump down in one of the winged armchairs across from Amelia. Just very casually, like very un-Lorelei-like. I kind of kick one leg up over an arm and just gestures to the other chair for you.
I'm not going to sit, I'm just going to stand.
Okay. She's clean, by the way. All good.
Hello again, Amelia. Since when are you scared to talk to me? You send down 2 guards and Lorelei.
What is it that you want?
I think we both know that I want you out of my life. And
Doris.
you were out of my life until you came here. And it was great. Until today. So I'm here to tell you to leave. Freeport.
Just like that. Leave.
Yes. We both know the terms that things were left on, okay? And I'm not gonna break that agreement. But I think part of it was that we'd stay out of each other's lives. If you are making business dealings in Freeport and doing all the bullshit that I know you're definitely up to, then I'm sure this won't be the last I'd see of you. Amelia, me and my friends have made a home here. We have friends and connections, and we care about the people here along the coast. In some ways, we're kind of silent defenders of it, of the Emerald Coast. Because this is where we decided to make our stand. So I'm not leaving. But I know there are plenty of business deals out there that you can get involved with all across Lythar, I'm sure. But working here is a non-starter. Because I never wanted to see you again, and here we are.
I think over the course of this, you can see Amelia definitely stiffens, and you can see her hands clenching. And the whole time, Lorelei's eyes are just kind of like shooting from you to Amelia, and like that kind of cocky smile is starting to kind of wither a bit. And you can see she's reading like, yeah, this isn't going to end well. Like, it's just on her face. Very, very expressive. And Amelia, after a moment of silence, looks up at you and she asks, should I take this to mean that you are threatening me then? If I do not do exactly as you please?
I'm making a request. That being said, like I told you, me and my friends are defending the Emerald Coast. And I know the kind of things you get up to. We can't have stuff like that going on here. Things don't have to escalate, Amelia. I'm not asking you to give up your fortune. I'm not asking you to stop doing what you're doing. I am asking you to take a step away. That is all, and that is the least I could ask. I don't think it's unreasonable.
I think Amelia at this point will probably stand up. And from where she's standing across the coffee table, just sort of square off with you a little bit. If you are capable of waiting a month, then rest assured, our business here will be concluded and we'll be returning home in short order. If that is not something you're capable of, what is it exactly you intend to do?
How in the world do I know that that's the truth, Amelia? Because from where I'm standing, it sure seems like you want to get your business dealings going on in Freeport. And I have a feeling that means you'll be back.
So suppose I come back in a few years. Perhaps I have some manner of business out here. What concern is it of yours? If you want no part of this, then leave. You know where the door is. We do not have to be any more a part of each other's lives than you have made quite clear you would prefer.
It's my concern, Amelia, because this is where I've made my actual home. We have driven away people far worse than you.
Congratulations.
The angry spider outside the door right now.
Oh yeah.
Gideon's like, I sense hands being done in spider form.
Yeah. Just...
Oh, 4 of them. She's moving up. Wait.
I think Amelia will probably kind of straighten her dress out a little bit and just look back to you and say,
My interests at this point in my life have extended beyond Alias borders. It is my hope that our house might achieve some renown across Lythor. I have ways, I have means, and I see no reason why it should be any concern of yours. It was none of your business before all this, and it remains none of your business now. Unless you choose to involve yourself.
You're the one who showed up in my life again.
You say it like I came looking for you.
I'm not trying to make a deal, Amelia. This isn't a negotiation. I'm telling you where my boundaries are. You've never respected them in the past, but that's where things stand. Freeport and the Emerald Coast are the place that I have made a stand. If you wish to encroach upon it, then I will treat you the same as I would treat anyone who's trying to do the same. You can leave. Give up one of your little business arrangements, and your world does not get any more complicated. Things stay the same, save for one contract not being signed. I really think you should take my offer.
I think Amelia will see the nostrils flare a bit and a very, very slight, like the barest hint of a smirk. She says, You know full well what happens if you come after me. This is where you stand, and I think this conversation is over. And you'll hear the door open as one of the guards outside kind of steps in.
I'm sorry to hear that, Amelia. Martin.
I mean, he silently just turns from the pan he's working on to look at you.
I hope you're doing okay. He just kind of blinks. I don't think he's fully sure how to answer that question. At least not fast enough for you to get an answer out of it. Because at that point, Amelia has kind of stepped forward and is addressing the guards. If you would please escort her back to the lobby. At which point, the guard will kind of step forward, like, all right, come on, and start kind of like usher you out into the hallway. Okay.
As you're being led out, I think you will hear Sandy kind of speaking up as the door is closing. It's like, wait, okay, what's that mean? And, they're kind of starting a conversation. As you guys are sort of walking away, you hear the door open. Where are you at?
I'm still there. I'm still listening.
You're still outside the door listening?
Yep.
You hear the door open, and you will see Sandy as Lorelei sort of rushing out into the hallway. And no sooner has she taken like a couple of steps out than again, immediately her eyes are just like drawn to you, Aloran. And she kind of looks at Noelle and then looks at the hotel door that she just came out of and then back to the spider. And she gestures in what you recognize to be the somatics for a spell. And Aloran, you feel a sudden, very strong pressure just pressing into you like a thumb.
Does she have to roll the hit?
Sure. Okay. Does a 19 hit? Cool. All right, so you take like fucking 4 damage. And Aloran just appears and falls to the ground from the ceiling.
Oh, hey there.
At which point Lorelei like jumps back like, oh goodness. I was not expecting a person.
Hi there.
Hello.
What were you expecting?
Just jump out a window. Just jump out the window.
In my experience,
A dead bug.
recurring spiders are usually a familiar, but you're a little more. Friend of yours. She will turn to you, Noelle.
Yeah.
The guards at this point are like, they're like, oh shit, and they're like drawing swords, and
I feel like Lauren, if she saw that, be like, trust me, you don't want to do that.
they're still like drawing swords, but Lorelei is like, okay, everybody calm down. And the guards are just kind of watching this as she just kind of steps forward and offers you a hand. Apologies for that.
I will not take her hand.
Okay.
I'll help Lauren up.
I suppose this was security then.
I don't trust you.
Obviously, you've made that very clear.
Yes. Glad to make that known.
I must say, as she starts to sort of walk towards Noelle, and she kind of indicates to you, Noelle, that she would like to continue walking away from the guards.
Sure.
As she is just sort of like waving them back, and they're looking very confused. They've still got their swords half
Are
unsheathed.
these
They're just
the
like,
guards that were hitting on her earlier?
yeah, 2 of them are, and both of them are like they're like confused, but also like, oh, hey, wait, hey.
They're piecing it
I
together.
feel like she'd be like, hey, I'll see y'all later.
The 2 door guards just kind of like look at them, and they're like, you made that smell me. But Lorelei will walk you towards the elevator, Noel, and she will continue in the Lorelei voice. I have to say, I don't think that went very well at all, truth be told.
No, not for anyone in that room.
No, it felt like you two sort of refused to back down and are now sort of, how you say, careening headlong into each other, like two trains on the same track, shall we say? I don't like where this is going.
Fitting analogy. Yeah, you're about to be out of a job.
With all due respect, Miss Noel, whatever comes next, it's genuinely nothing personal. For me, at least. If I were you, I would genuinely just try to lay low for a bit. I suspect things are about to get a little tense around here, to say the least.
I hope I don't have to kill you.
She kind of blinks in surprise. And then you see the smile just beginning to spread across the face. Well,
Whatever happens, it's nothing personal. I'm gonna leave.
Lauren's just sitting there like super giddy. She's like, she's looking at Noel like, is that happening? Oh.
I mean, you can see Lorelei has got the biggest smile on her face too. Like she is like just as excited. She's like, "Oh, this is gonna be something."
Oh, Lauren's having a great time too. I feel like Noel's the serious one, and Lauren's like matching her energy. She's like, "This is gonna be fun, right? I'm excited."
Yeah. Cool. So you guys get into the elevator, and Lorelei just kind of like throws up an elbow in front of the cage, just kind of like leaning against the door frame. She says, "Oh well, suppose the best lady will win, eh?"
You'll lose.
Oh, I don't watch your backs. It's going to get fun. And the elevator begins to just lower, and she just gives y'all a jaunty wave, big bug-eyed smile as you guys are descending.
Just before we get out of eyesight, because you said it's like one of those cage elevators.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and cast vicious mockery on her.
Yes. I love this.
Okay. Is that a wisdom or charisma save?
I think that one's wisdom.
What do you say?
Boy, I already used my one-liner. I'm not sure. Wisdom save. It's technically one lower right now because I don't have my liar on me.
You should say something along the lines of, "I don't know how you do. You're past your prime."
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Not vicious mockery. Hideous laughter. My brain was elsewhere.
Oh, that is very different.
That makes much more sense.
Wisdom or charisma save?
That one is also wisdom, I believe.
Okay. I'm just doing some math, sorry. Okay. All right. So that is going to be a 19.
That does it. Okay. What's your
what do you say that is supposed to make her laugh so much? Out of curiosity.
God, I don't know. I don't know. I already said the last interesting thing I could say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride the fact that it didn't work as a way to get out of coming up with a one-liner.
All right. You like cast a spell, and you just hear her. Do you say something? Just calling down the elevator shaft.
Sure, that works.
All right, and yeah, you'll let out on the ground floor and step out into the lobby.
Well, that didn't go well.
But we get to kill. Not kill your mother. I'm sorry. She's
You're
like, bitch. I want to fucking squish her.
There have been days in my past where I've wanted her dead, but this might be the
And
strongest
here-
I've ever felt that before.
As your friend, I
So
have no judgment, and I will help you kill your mother.
do we just want to storm up there and just slaughter them all? That'll be the easiest way.
God, honest to God, though.
It really would, but this is... I think this is going to be more complicated than that. Because if we did do that, we would just be assassinating a noble family.
See,
With very
but if
little
they-
reason.
All we have to do is
But you
assassinate
see,
Amelia. We just have to kill
if-
her.
if they just disappear, then it's a mystery of a disappearing noble family and not the murder.
Y'all are reconvening, I assume, outside at this point.
Yeah, we'll say we're heading back to the Presidium at this point.
Burberry's got a delicious plate of very fancy restaurant food.
Oh, it's one of those,
Okay.
like, he came out and it was just like a bag of to-go food.
One of these days, we gotta set up like a permanent psychic link between all of us.
It'd be really convenient.
I mean, like, honestly, the cat was like, oh, well, I mean, if a fight does break out, I want to know if a fight breaks out, but I need a way to know that a fight breaks out. So that's why I did the thing, because if I take damage out of nowhere, all of a sudden a fight broke out. Well, I guess I could have just listened for yelling.
What time is it, dude?
Also true. 9, 10 o'clock probably.
Okay.
Actually, no, it's probably about like 10:30.
Oh. Thank you all for having my back. I wish that had gone better.
She's a terrible person. I think it'll be better. Honestly, I think best case scenario is just killing her and leaving everyone else alive. That's bad.
You
It's
can't
different.
kill all your problems.
Are
You
okay?
can't kill all of your problems, Lauren.
What was that?
I said you can't kill all of your problems, Lauren.
I can sure try.
Says who?
What was that, John?
He said, says
I
who?
said, says who?
I'm just saying we could just snag Amelia, put her in a bag holding, run away with her, assassinate her later, have everybody else out of the way. Martin gets to keep the fortune. You didn't kill an entire noble family, just the person that does all the heinous shit.
The crime rate would probably go down in Aelia if we did.
Exactly. So I feel like, honestly, best case scenario, we just try to kill her and not everybody.
Maybe we could certainly scare the shit out of her. Wonder if that would do it.
Well, I know she's supposed to go to a meeting tomorrow morning.
Oh yeah, that's gonna get fucked up.
I feel like Alorn's at some point she's like, I have to go find Saren. So let her know.
Oh
You're
right.
not going. You're not going
Yeah,
home.
because I'm supposed to go home tomorrow to
Right.
get out amulets to my family.
Sorry about that.
All right.
I'll see if
Well,
Gaddick will go with her or something.
what are you guys doing for the rest of the night?
Well, Lauren's gonna find Saren and probably talk to Adler.
Sure.
I mean,
Okay.
I have a huge bag of food with my name on it, so.
I could use a squid pop after today, Burber.
Oh, no! I actually got it. Like he pulls out like a full ass meal for everybody in the party.
Nice.
Like he got a fish thing for Barnaby. He got a like steak thing for John. He probably got like a mix of like pasta and chicken for Noelle.
You've been busy.
Yeah.
And then fish for Lauren. Only because that whole conversation.
Just to see if she'll eat it.
I
Oh,
think
I got it because it looks like you.
I think when you guys get back to the Presidium, you'll probably find Jade as actually like out in the courtyard with Rainer and Secundo. Like they're like kind of trading off sparring matches.
Oh.
And as soon as you walk through the gates, Jade is just like, "Oh, you're back.
Hey.
How are things? You've been sort of running around all day. I know it's. Are you able to talk?
Yeah. Yeah, we could talk.
Oh, have you had dinner?
I have not. No. Have you boys eaten? Nah, I can definitely eat.
You're gonna eat,
Pop for
Rainer.
everyone.
Hey,
I'm just kidding.
I won like half of these. All right.
I bet. Ooh. I bet I could beat your ass right now. Let's go.
We have been going for like an hour. Come on, that.
Oh, come on. I don't even have spell slots right now. Come on.
They're.
Oh,
I'll
and you're
choose
not
two.
allowed to turn into a bear.
I have a moon sickle.
Oh, I got this. Yeah, so you guys can walk inside and divvy out food and sort of catch up.
Is Gerald in there?
I think Gerald is not in the dining room. Neither is Gideon or Aaron. Like none of the senior members are awake or out and about right now. Presumably they're upstairs. But yeah, so y'all head inside, settle in, get some food, hit up the people you got to hit up. What do you want to tell Adlar? And I know Saren is basically. I'm not.
I thought Adler kind of wanted to talk to a lord about what.
He did want to talk to you about what was going on.
Yeah.
And I know Jade wants to talk to Noelle about what's happening because, like, they were talking this afternoon,
Yeah.
and then
I
it's
got
been all over the
sidetracked.
place.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess if I'm at the Presidium, I'd probably update Gerald with what's happening.
Sure.
Too.
I will like this
Are
is
there
a lot
any
more terrifying
important things
than
that are going to happen in the next 15,
monsters.
30 minutes?
Good luck. Do what?
I said, is there anything important that's going to happen like the next 15 to 30 minutes? Because I need to get to bed early tonight.
I know. I think we're wrapping here.
Okay.
So I just
Sorry.
wanted to establish, Noelle, how much would you want to catch up on Jade on exactly? Like, what is?
I will tell her
Because
that
she wants to check just to see what's going on.
I would tell her, she knew a lot of Noelle's backstory, probably maybe a little less than what I shared tonight.
Okay.
So, I would just tell her general refresher, and I would explain that whole situation with Amelia being in town. I told her to fuck off, and didn't go well. So, but it was nice to tell her to fuck off. So. I think things are going to get more complicated in the short term, but we have a very competent group. And
if you need any help, I'm more than happy to throw in. I know what this means for you. So
the one thing I'd say to watch out for, Jade, is their changeling is... something's wrong with them. Which concerns me, because a changeling's hard to find.
that's a little hard to I'll try.
I'm more just saying, be careful who you talk to.
Sure. And I really only had business with the professor up at Bellaquet's I was planning to meet with later this week, but that could
I
probably
think you'll
wait.
be okay.
Or not. Okay. Sure.
Well, it's up to you. However you want. I don't know how long this is going to take.
Hopefully not
This
long.
will be wrapped up in a few days, or,
Hopefully not long.
Or like a week?
yeah, like a week.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. I would
Well,
just tell her
That's
the
your
days of
disposal
events.
if you are willing to cut her in. Aloran, do you want to go find Adlar?
I was going to talk to Gerald, but I was not going to tell Gerald about Noelle's stuff.
Oh, okay.
I was just going to tell him about Lost Rock.
Oh, that's bad. Okay, no, that is just as concerning as the Eldritch monster and the other pirate stuff.
Yeah, just to let you know. Anyway, have a
Cool,
great time.
awesome, great. Well, good talk.
Great talk. Here, I can just save my shit. It doesn't matter.
No.
I can talk to you after session because
Yeah.
it's not anything.
That's fair. Yeah, Adlar would just want to catch up and check in to see how you're doing. And
what's going on.
Yeah.
So get him up to speed.
Yeah.
All right.
I believe that covers all the bases for tonight. We'll say you guys settle in for a long rest and wake up in the morning on the 24th with a plan to take down Amelia Cordemanche.
We did it.
One way or another, we're having a fucking adventure now.
Yes, we are.
Yep.
We're gonna go back to downtime. Aren't you excited?
We'll see. But yeah, good session, guys. Let's get RP points to everybody. And if we want to do MVP,
Noelle MVP.
I agree with that.
Does anyone not have inspiration?
No, but I just got it.
I'm gonna run off. Have a good
See
night.
you, Cat.
all right, night.